All right. Um, Mic check. How's it going? Uh, 11 seconds in. I haven't said anything unforgivable yet. How's it going? Mike Perry and Glenn Nickerson and Myron Hodgson. Cheers, buddy. USA Horse Willie David. Cheers, you guys. Thanks for stopping in. Paul Barrel. Wow, so many names I recognize from so long. And Randall, that pirate, they let him in here, I guess. That's awesome, buddy. Well, let's get right to the old questions. If anybody has any, did you guys see that Frankers is here? Oh, Mini Frankers is sleepy. There she is. There you go. Oh, nice. There we go. Bun and Laura went out, so it's just me. And I usually put up a video on Thursday, and tomorrow is Thursday, and there isn't really much point in putting up a video. So I thought, well, we'll just stop in and waste some people's time just live, and then we get back to work. I still plan to put out a video as usual on Saturday. It might not be as long or as carefully polished as, well, carefully polished, big quotation marks, as what we like to do, but we will have enough time, I think, to put one together. Wow, so many people here. Vanessa is here. Hey, how's it going? So cool to see these people after so many years still putting up with this place. Paul asked if I've been good this year. No, but it's never mattered before. Look at, in Utah, it is raining. Today, it is minus 25 and blizzard outside. So not doing a lot outside today. I had to drive. Actually, I just got back from Ashley's house. We were playing with the fiberglass nightmare project there, and that was fun. But that was a good hour of snowbound city traffic, so I've had enough of that. And what else is going on? Norman asked if I play the banjo. I tried playing the banjo for a little while. I have a banjo, and I can play a very tiny number of things on it. But no, I don't play it as to the point where I would say, sure, I could play the banjo. No, definitely not. So Vanessa says rough is good. That's right. Sorry, I'm already behind on the questions. So if I miss it, don't worry. You can pop it back in there. If I miss your question 5 or 6 times, it means I probably just don't want to answer it. But that's okay. No hard feelings. I understand. Wink. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. From Stratford, Ontario, and from Baltimore. Wow. Vanessa asked, how's the Continental? I just spoke to Jim a couple of days ago about that. We do plan to get back onto the Continental. About every week somebody asks about it. So a totally legit question. The Continental hasn't been touched, I don't think, since the last time we worked on it. Jim has moved in the meantime and become a full-time farmer as well as a full-time machinist and mechanic. So he's he's just very busy, and the new place he's moved to doesn't have a heated shop. So he's kind of, actually, speaking of Jim, I think he's trying to get that organized in the next little while here. And once he has a heated garage, I think, well, pop over there and we'll definitely keep playing with the Continental. I would like to see it, I'd like to see it get finished. I think it's a really fun project. And, kind of the theme around here is that we like to fix cars that would be considered parts cars anywhere else, and we can make something out of them. And that Continental, I think, qualifies. So that's my kind of car, a parts car. So I'll just try to get through these here. Willie David says he's been here since the Carbon Footprint Newport. Wow, that was like 15 years ago, buddy. Oh, that's awesome. Gee, what about the uke? Oh, ukulele? Oh, there's one right there. It was a gift. I haven't played the ukulele. I think Bun plays it a bit, but I haven't played the ukulele since elementary school. What's an example of a Christmas gift from Bun? Oh, well, I can't tell you what she's going to get me because I don't know. Probably won't be car parts. I think that she knows that I'm probably happy to buy those myself. I don't know. Maybe she'll get me some clothes that aren't ripped or something. So, yes. So Stephen had the same question about the Mark II. Yes, we do intend to get back on it, but it's not really my decision. It's Jim's car, it's Jim's garage, and Jim's just a very busy fellow. So when he has time to heat up his garage and wants me to come over, I will drop what I'm doing and come on over. Somebody asked, where's Dean? I don't know. Just texting Dean. Dean's at home. We'll see if we can get Dean over here. Dean's off and on sick. He works outside all the time and he gets colds often, and then he can't come over. So, but yeah, Dean's fine. He just sends me pictures of rusty Lamborghinis and stuff. So Dean's funny. And let's see if we can wow. Oh, so many kind people. Well, thank you guys all so much. What's the square root of pi? It's somewhere like 1.75 something. I don't remember. Oh, there's Mike at Junks Automotive. I want to make door skins for 57. It'd be great to have pertaining. Oh, yeah, sure, man. You do whatever you like. And yeah, have a good time making door skins. That's a really fun project. And shouldn't be too hard, hey? Oh, look at there. See, Dean's texting me right now. I'll tell him to get on here and he can answer your questions. You'll have to type in his answers, though. So, yeah, of course, Mike, you guys check out Mike's channel. He's doing a 57 Chev, and now he's going to try and make a door skin. You'd probably do just as well with or without me there, buddy. So don't. I've made a couple, and it's a challenge. Kyteler. Already Christmas nonsense here in New Zealand. Oh yeah, right. In New Zealand, it's actually warm and a day ahead, and so it's 6 months and a day ahead of here. Yes, Vanessa says we have to watch the last video on the Conti to see where we left off, and that's true. I will actually have to go back and watch it and be like, I think we actually got as far as taking the passenger side door off of the car because that needed a bunch of work too. I think we were just going to kind of work our way around the car. You know, the worst of it is already done, but the rest of the car is not exactly mint either. So that's still a bit of a job there. Randall says the best sound a banjo makes is when you throw it in the dumpster and it hits an accordion. I don't mind the sound of a banjo. Given the choice to listen to banjo or accordion, I'll probably listen to the banjo. Suburban Philly, 43 Fahrenheit. Oh, that's about 50 Fahrenheit, 60 Fahrenheit warmer than it is here. Demolition Man asks, no, I do not have any Dodge Dart brake lights for sale. Sorry. I don't actually have a single Dodge Dart right now, which is a problem I'd like to sort out. But I don't currently have any. I don't actually sell parts. Sometimes Dean sells parts, but I don't. Yes, and you're right. I can't play Santa without the beard, but every time I go to eat something, I'm happy I don't have to deal with the beard anymore. So, and oh, thank you guys. John asked, what's the best car Dean has on his lot? Oh, best as in the cars that I would want or cars that are actually good? I don't think there's any actually good ones, but he's got a couple that I want. He's got at least 157 Belvedere two-door hardtop. And I think we'll be making a wheelie dealy on that one. Clark asks, what is the status of Laura's Rover? Well, we're going to find that out very soon, probably in the next week or two, because it's over at Stevens. And Steven is going to complete the mechanical work and put the engine back in. And then it's coming back here for me to finish assembling the body. So, yes, we have not forgotten about the Rover. That is definitely still on the list of things to do. Dave Sosi asks, you inspired me after many years to paint my own car. Oh, well, very good. You should paint your own car. It's very much cheaper than paying somebody. Painting is the easy part, right? Getting it ready to paint is the thing. And the actual painting, you know, painting a car takes a couple hours. Sometimes it takes 2, 3, 4 years to get it ready for paint, but painting is easy. So don't be afraid of that for sure. Nice weekend. We'll get a nice weekend. Oh, yeah. That's excellent. Well, thank you very much, Mike. Mike's been an exceedingly generous patron of this show. I hope that Mike still affords food for his family with the amount that he throws away around here. Thanks so much, buddy. And yeah, just make that door skin and it'll be fine, right? Are you making it for the side that had a bunch of rust and damage? There was one that you had spliced together already. Maybe you're making it for that side. Anyway, let me know. Brian Bethel, yeah, it's so great to see all these names that I recognize. Merry Christmas. Well, thanks very much, buddy. Thank you guys all so much. Yeah, they're. Yeah, Merry Christmas to all of you as well, I should say. It is, you know, there was a time when I was kind of like, oh, Christmas, boo, don't really. But, you know, as I've gotten older, I've realized that it's not really about, you know, it's, anyway, I've softened my view on it. I think it's important now as a tradition of what's left of civilization that we kind of keep these traditions going. And if it means that I got to go put lights on my house, no time this year, but next year, once the house is finished, we've been doing an extensive amount of rebuilding on the house here, and it's a big job. So, and it has to squeeze in among all the other things that I'm doing because nobody's watching my show to see how my front porch is looking or how my shingles are going or whatever. So there's a lot that goes on outside of the cars that still has to get done. This poor old house is pushing 100 years old and it needed a lot of work. So maybe I think I'll go over it. I'll make a little summary of the process once it's painted. We just ran out of time this year. I wanted it painted for Halloween, but we just ran out of time. And as of November, as soon as it gets freezing cold, you can't be painting your house. So it's kind of patched in. It looks like a body man's car, actually. It's got primer down one side of it and pieces kind of touched in and pieces that don't match. It looks like all of my cars, I guess. Nessa says the Berkey ad wasn't bad. Oh, are you talking about the convertible? The convertible wasn't bad. The 69, there was a Mercury ad that was really bad. The one that was the Hawaii 501. That car didn't look too bad, but that is really, really rotten. He actually sold the car and the guy never picked it up. So I don't know if he even still technically owns that or whatever. What made me decide to shave my beard? Oh, I had been kind of wanting to. I was just kind of tired of it. It was itchy, and every time you eat, you go through a half a roll of paper towels, making sure there's no sauce on your face, and I was just kind of tired of it, and I actually held on to it longer than I wanted to. I would have shaved it probably a year ago, but I wanted to make that video with the Volvo, and I thought, well, that would be a funny way to do it. So, but then the Volvo dragged on and on and on, so I was really carrying that beard around for another 6 months to a year, just waiting to get the Volvo done so I could do that stupid video, which nobody watched anyway. So, sorry, way behind already, you guys. Is the Torino being sold? No. Ash, I was just talking to Ash, and he's still bent on doing it. John asks if there's any SM work on the horizon. A few of us like that sort of thing. That's good. I'm glad there's a few of you. Actually, I was talking about it yesterday with Ashley because I want to get the next job on the SM is to get the front end that's all rebuilt and done. I want to get that installed. We have to change the wiring harness because it had an American front end on it before. So it has to get the harness put in to run all 6 lights. Excuse me. That's kind of that's a bit of a challenge. I don't know if it's something is if I can modify the existing harness, or if we have to make one, or if I got a couple of parts cars in the back, if the blue parts car has still got the 6-light harness in it. If it does, that might be a good starting point, even if it's just a pattern. So that's the next thing on the SM. I can't get too carried away on the bodywork, because as soon as I do, we have to basically take all the interior out of the car, which is fine, except that I don't really want to have 3 cars gutted and in boxes and spread all over the place. I have to get something. We have to get one car kind of over the hump there to where some pieces are starting to go back in it before I take another one apart. Right now with the Buick and the Chev, and honestly, those are getting worked on, because they make for more successful YouTube. I mean, I like the SM, but I don't, I understand that on a channel that runs largely on nostalgia, not many people are like, oh, my aunt had an SM and we used to go to swimming lessons. That probably doesn't really apply. So the SM is less of a, as much as I think it should be the coolest project I got going, I can't force people to watch me work on a car that nobody cares about except me. So I know there's a few of you, and that's awesome, and I appreciate that. But the French car stuff is always going to have to remain a subset of what we're doing, just because it's just not, at least on this channel, which is weird because I've had French cars the whole time I've had this channel, and yet Doug DeMuro makes a Citroen video and he gets 450,000 views and he doesn't know where the front or the back of the car is. So, but we're not here to be bitter about YouTube today. Not today. We've got lots of time for that later. Anyway, thank you for the question, John. It's very kind. Craig asks, Zeppelin or the Stones? That for me would be the Stones for sure. Yeah, I'm a big Keith Richards fan. So for me, the Stones. Technical books I'd recommend. Not really. I mean, I would recommend, no, honestly, like maybe like some first year engineering texts, really, like if you want to know about stuff. But yeah, the only technical books I really need now are the factory shop manuals. If we go into something like the Dynaflow, I'm not going in to do that without the factory shop manual. So that's that's the only one. And to me, that's, there's no one book that's going to show you how to work on all the cars. So the only way I learn how to work on cars is by working on them and making mistakes. And so there's a trail of broken cars behind me and a few good ones. James has a 63 Fairlane K code. Oh, that's like the Hypo 260 cubic inch, I think. That's really cool. That's a cool car. Oh, there's Kyle. I was wondering when the Pirate would show up. Kyle Carter asked, when are we getting more Simca content? Well, I just, as soon as Kyle gets here, Kyle and I are already sketching out the Simca Coupe de Ville that he wants to build, because Kyle's obsessed with that stuff. I'll show you guys. You'll get a kick out of it. Where is it? Oh, come on. That's death. Here we go. Where is it? Oh, there you guys. Look at this. Hey, look at that. So we've already got plans for the 2-door chopped Simca. Brian asks, when do you think you'll get to the green Plymouth wagon in the back lot? Yeah, it's a good question. I wanted to get to it this fall, but there's always something, the house really became a priority because I wanted it finished. Once the house stuff dies down, I'll have more time for car stuff. But the thing with all the cars, and the Plymouth included there, is if I take it apart, that means we're going after it, right? That's why the SM, I told myself, you do not take that car apart until you're going right through it. The Chev, that's come right apart. The Buick, I haven't even taken the Buick apart any more than I absolutely have to. Like Buick, I can go out right now and I could hop in that and I could drive it out of there. Um, yeah, so I don't, I don't take it lightly when I pull a car apart, because right now that Plymouth, every screw and bolt is still in the place where it belongs. And as soon as you pull it apart, you got to make sure that you are committed to finishing it. And to pull that Plymouth completely apart, because it needs everything. It needs a headliner and interior and the glass and bumpers and motor, and it needs everything. It's garbage. Um, to pull that apart when you have three other, one of which is an SM, cars dismantled would be irresponsible, I think. Whereas when I do take it apart, it'll mean I'm seriously going through it. I would like to get the subframe swap. That was what I really wanted to do this year, because then it becomes a drivable car. I can move it around and whatever. But that might be a good weekend challenge for next summer. I don't think that I'm going to plow through that entire job until there's at least the Chev or the Buick or the SM or the Roadster. One of those has to be done. So it looks like right now, I would guess that the Buick will be the first of those three finished, just because it has the least amount of body work to do, and the engine's already done and the brakes are done and blah blah. We made some good progress on it last night. There'll be some more video on that this weekend. So I think that the Buick will be done first. The SM might actually be done before the Impala, just because the Impala's got like a $500 paint job coming up. So yeah, I don't know. Does that answer I don't even remember what the question was now, but I think that's kind of how we're looking at it here. So, oh my God, Randy, that's crazy. Just a second here. I'll get to Randy. I just want to make sure we've gotten through any questions I might have missed. Oh, thank you guys so much. So many names that I recognize. Joe Doucette. Cheers, Joe. Patron for a long time. And let's see. Sorry, I don't have a, what do you call those, moderators? Somebody who can kind of go through this and kind of, what do you call, screen it a bit. Vanessa says slant 6 in the Simca. Yeah, it would. I don't know if it would fit sideways, but that would be pretty funny. Oh, there. James says factory 298 4-speed, 63 Fahrenheit. There we go. Probably 289. Yes. So made him postpone my CG scan for 2 hours. Gene, you're a savage. That's funny. Carter says Simca Seville 2026 YouTube Gold. Yes, we do know how to make YouTube Gold around here. That's, you can tell by the dozens of videos I've made that have millions of views that everybody knows about. None of that's ever happened. William asking, we just talked about the Rover. Sorry if the question has been answered. Simply because it takes so long to keep caught up. But yes, more Rover coming soon for sure. It's at Stevens. MCRE2RY asks, any unobtainium parts you're in need of? That sounds like a challenge. There's always going to be something, but for the cars that I'm building, I usually make sure, like for instance with the Buick, that I have a parts car, or the SM, I have a parts car, and even the Impala, I didn't even start thinking about that project until I had the Biscayne. And so there's always going to be a few unobtainiums, but I guess the way I look at that is like the way I look at tires and exhaust and a few things. Is like I can't make my own tires, I can't make my own mufflers. When I've got everything that I can do finished, when the car is welded and prepped and painted and all of the stuff that I can do is done, and then it's like, okay, now we got it all back together, but you can't drive it till it has a windshield, tires, and exhaust. Then I find it very easy to just be like, here, money will solve that. I don't like spending money on the cars, but once I've got 1,000 hours of welding and painting into a car, and it's all done and all it needs is tires and I can drive it, I find it very easy to spend the money because, I've kind of, what I think of as I've kind of earned the right to spend money on the car now. So I don't look at stuff that I have to just straight up buy until all the work is done. I see a lot of guys will buy an old car and then they'll mail order $10,000 worth of parts that go on the day the car is finished. Don't even think about buying parts for your car until it has a floor and frame rails and all the doors fit. And, once you have a car, then you buy the parts. But to me, the body is the car. So until the body's done and everything that you can do is done, then I might look around and go, okay, what do I actually need here? Do I have enough taillight lenses and all that stuff? And so that's when I start thinking about that stuff, is when the rest of it's done. If I think of something while we're doing this, though, I'm not ashamed to ask. That's for sure. Every time I bought a car, and usually it's unsolicited, somebody will see a video of a car I bought, and they're like, "Oh, you're missing the whatever," and it'll show up in the mail, which I think is just lovely. But I would never ask, and so if I think of something, I'll let you know. Let's check in on the menace there. Oh, there she is. Okay, everything's fine. Yeah, so that's very kind of you to ask. But anyway, Randy Man 1205 has sent me $100. So good night, and we'll see everybody soon. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you, Randy. That is awesome. Been watching for 15 years. You're a maniac. I guess that means I'm a maniac because I've been doing it it'll be 16 years in April 20th. That's when we started doing this. 16 years ago. So that's kind of insane, actually, because I never held a job literally for 16 months, and I've been doing this for 16 years. So that's kind of nuts. Thank you so much, Randy. You're just a crazy person. Thank you, man. Jerry Upmore says he remembers lots of Simcas running around Corpus Christi, Texas. The boys from the GCFCE are in Texas and Louisiana this weekend. So if you're in either of those places, you best stay home because those boys are not there to not party. Dan and Paul, they like to go out and have some fun. And so he sent me a picture from a riverboat. I guess they're on a riverboat getting drunk somewhere. So cheers, boys. Those guys are awesome. I'd never get tired of hanging out with Dan and Paul at the GCFCE. And D Straw 7987 says, "Happy Merry Christmas, and you should give the 26 Model T a 100th birthday party this coming year." I definitely should, and I think I will. That'll be fun. 100 years, that's pretty good. And it's funny enough, not even the oldest car in the garage, because the Dodge is actually a year older than that. So we will definitely. I bought some bits for the Dodge. I'm really hoping to get it running well enough that I can get that plated and use it as kind of a grocery getter, errands kind of car. It's not ever going to be a full restoration or a really particularly valuable car. So I want to get it good enough that I can really have fun with it and just drive it like my daily car. The T is almost like that. You can almost drive the T, but it's just a little. You always feel a little bad for the people behind you if you're in the city. So we'll see if I'm about 5 miles from town here. So if I can get the Dodge good enough that I can drive it 5 miles into town at 40 to 45 miles an hour, we'll see. If it'll do that, then I can use it for groceries and whatever. The Model T is fun, but you can't really put much in it, and with 2 people and the dog, it's completely full. So looking forward to that. Thomas says, "Have you heard from Jonathan W. lately?" I have not. I watched his videos, and he occasionally, I was thinking, I'll tell you what, if we go an hour or so here and we haven't heard from him, I'll just phone him. I actually have his number, but I've never abused the privilege. Like, somebody gives you their phone number, you don't just start phoning them up. I've never actually spoken to Jonathan. I've only texted him. Isn't that strange? So maybe tonight is the day we should phone him up. You guys let me know if you think we should. Well, the thing is, Jonathan actually works for a living. He has a tow truck, and I don't know what the weather's like in Is he in North Carolina? Yes. I assume he's not dealing with a lot of snowdrifts, but chances are he's working. I think a guy like that is working. But anyway, maybe we'll take 30 seconds out of our time here and just wish him Merry Christmas. That guy, he is awesome. Really, really still pretty jealous of his Studebaker Hawk too. One of these days I should see if he'll just drive that up here and I'll buy him a plane ticket home, eh? Jonathan's fucking amazing. And all those steam engines, man. I think that I got it hard going out to get a Simca home, and he goes and gets these 37-ton steam engines and brings them home. It takes him 4 years to have to build a shed just so he can put it together. It's pretty awesome. That guy really knows what time it is. Cheers to you guys. Well, thank you all. User Merry Christmas from Winnipeg. Oh, thank you very much. Merry Christmas from Thomas Putnam. Thank you very much, buddy. And there we go. Nice. Sorry, just got a text from Kyle. Kyle that lives here, not Kyle Carter. And he is mixing and matching up the paint for the Buick interior right now. So we're just trying to match that bronzy, reddy, brown, whatever it is, with that weird pink that goes around the. Anyway, that's going to be pretty awesome. So still need to find or borrow a green screen. Yes, I got to get my green. I took the green screen down for Halloween, and then I got to set it up again because that's a lot of fun. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's almost time for the CWM calendar. Yes, thank you guys, everybody who bought a calendar. As far as I'm able to tell, they've mostly arrived except for Australia. If you're in Australia and you haven't got yours yet, don't worry, because it doesn't look like anybody in Australia has got theirs yet, or very few of them. So, yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, Australia, it's surface mail, so it's going to take a little while. I hope, anyway, you can get hold of us if there's any problems with that. Sheldon asked if there's any plans for the red Ford truck that came with the place. Yes, the 1960 F-250. The plan is to put it on my Dodge Cummins chassis. It's just that's another job that I'm not, it's very easy to do the first 10% of any of these jobs and just take it off and be like, there, well, we got rid of that old chassis and now there's pieces spread all over the place. So that is the plan. The only reason for that is that thing is almost useless the way it is, as a completely stock F-250 with 488 gears in it and a 223. I can't even really drive it to town. It's not any faster than the Model T. So I decided that if I do anything with that thing, it makes way more sense to take that cool old body and put it on a chassis that I can actually use, because my Dodge truck will eventually rust out to the point where it's going to need a bunch of work anyway. And I do like that truck. I mean, that thing is it's a train. It's awesome. So that's kind of the plan. Darren asked 3-speed manual with overdrive for the Impala. Well, it'll be 3-speed manual. I'm not concerned about overdrive. The car is not, it's going to get 100 miles a year. So I'm not really worried about overdrive. But it will be a 283 with a stick, and probably have I'll have the Biscayne diff in it, which gives it a slightly steeper gear. So that's kind of the plan. It'll have the 3-speed, which I actually have all the parts thanks to some crafty donations. I've got the clutch and pressure plate and throwout bearing, and Dean's buddy Sean had the transmission and valve housing. All I need for that whole thing now is the, what do they call that? The throwout lever thing. I need that, and everything else I have. So that's cool. Wow. And Chris has sent us. Thank you so much, Chris Cochia. That's awesome. Thank you, man. Chris didn't have a question. I guess he just figured. Well, that's really kind of you, man. Thank you so much. I will be sure to waste it on car parts. Somebody asked what Bun's real name is. It's Sean, Shawn. And yeah, so now we know. Carbide GRD1. Merry Christmas. Have to go and watch a stupid movie now. Well, cheers, buddy. That's probably time better spent. Ray's History Channel asked if I've seen any Ford Cortinas around there. I do not see very many. I've probably seen a couple. I saw one when we were on our motorcycle trip in BC last summer. There was a British car club that was at one of the pubs, and there was a really nice Cortina. Or was it a Mark? No, it might have been an Escort. I think it was a Mark II Escort. There was a nice Escort outside. Cortina, yeah, rare car. Not impossible to find around here, but like single-digit numbers in this province, I'm sure. My name is 9057. Oh, Merry Christmas to you. Thank you so much. And oh, yeah, I just thought of unobtainium. The stupid Simca didn't come with a back bumper. There you go. If somebody wants to mail me a back bumper for a Simca 11, don't. I'm just joking. Do not waste your money mailing me a back bumper for a 1969 Simca 1100 back bumper. Don't. I'm just kidding. We do not need it. William, thank you so much, William. Merry Christmas. Oh, that's an Oda High the Dubious. Very good. What a great name. Never miss a video. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, you guys are very kind. Duke Luke Raj said, I came in when the Fury was spliced back together. Oh, that's cool. That was a while ago. I actually watched one or two of those videos the other day. Just, I don't even know why. I was just watching. And yeah, that was a while ago. I remember every speck of that, and yet I'm doing it again. Yeah, it's nice actually. Sometimes maybe I watch it just to say yes, even though things look bad now, but you will get through it. The Chev is a big job, so we've talked about whether the Fury was worse than the Chev or vice versa, and it's still too early to say. Let's say they're both pretty bad. But that's also to say though that one's not spectacularly worse than the other. Like it's really actually hard to tell which one's worse. So the other thing is, and I think I mentioned this, is as I get better at this, the cars take less time, even if they're just as bad. So Demolition Man says he's jealous of the abundance of V8s, especially big blocks over the US, Canada, and wrecking yards. Oh yeah. It's funny that up until recently, I mean, we used to go to the wrecking yard, and there would just be rows and rows, and most of them still ran, 400s and 440s and 383s, and you could just go there. $75 is what engines cost, and you could buy a running 440 for $75 and stick it in whatever car you wanted, and we used to do that. 20-cent Motors is really pumping my tires on the Simca. That's awesome, you guys. Nice to know that people are all about the Simca. Started March 2011. Wow, you guys, I think that I started in April 2010. Yes, that's right. So, yeah, it's been a while, and we'll see how much longer we can do it. YouTube is getting eaten alive by the AI content. I mean, it shows up on the side of my, what to watch or whatever panel here, and I can spot it after a tiny bit of, trying. I learned to recognize the AI stuff, so I don't ever click on it. But I can't do anything about it, right? And as that consumes more and more of the what to watch page here on YouTube, the rest of us who, like, I don't make any attempt to please the algorithm or manipulate the search. I just can't be arsed. I just, whatever. Here's the video. Here's what I did. Here's what we're working on. And that's not the formula for YouTube success. And I guess I just don't care. I can't make it something that I have to care about, because it'll just eat, because I can't do anything about it, right? So there's in order to to have it not become burdensome. I just have to walk away from trying to succeed, on YouTube. So that's what I've done. Duncan Frere says, Merry Christmas from Cajun Country, South Louisiana. Oh, it's 67 Fahrenheit. Very nice. Yeah, watch out for Dan and Paul. They're there right now with Agent 1080. I think they're just on like some kind of epic booze cruise of the southern United States. So if those guys aren't watching, but if they were, I'd say cheers, gentlemen. Awesome. 7-Second Avenger. My son and I have watched your channel since Franker's as a star. Oh, she still is. Maybe you're thinking of Stella. Stella was the star for sure. Kept us sane during some difficult times. Well, thank you. It's very kind of you to say. And that's a real, it's a telling thing when this is considered, if this place is considered the source of sanity, what does that tell you? Like some derelict junkyard idiot with a yard full of hoarded junk is the sane guy. Well, I'm happy that somebody would think that. That's very kind. Gene, yes, Gene says he's been watching 16 years. Well, no, we're not going to play who's been watching the show, whatever. Like that is awesome. But yeah, it's so fun to see every time we do this that so many of the same names, that's really awesome. Hamilton Mechanical, another patron of the show. Thank you guys. If I haven't mentioned it enough recently, the patrons of the show, especially now with the advent of the AI garbage channels that are just eating this whole platform alive. The patrons are more than ever what's keeping it on the air. So, thank you guys. If I haven't mentioned it recently, but I think I have. But anyway. Brian the Bike Guy, of course, another one of my favorite commenters here. Been watching us forever. Brian says he's not insane, but loves the insanity here. Are you really not insane then? And my name is 9057. Ask how Matt's doing. Matt's doing very well. I saw him at the Strong's Garage Christmas party a couple of days ago. We wandered around. He's got his they got some, I'm not sure, I won't say what they got on the go because maybe they're making their own videos of it, but they've got some fantastic projects. And Matt's dad, Ken, has bought a Model A Victoria, two-door Victoria, which is really cool. I don't think I'd ever seen one, and it's got side mount spares on it. So really happy for Ken. He seems just thrilled about it. It's an older resto that's got some driving miles on it and needs a bunch of going through, but those guys can build Model A's with one hand behind their back. So it's going to be an awesome car. I hope we get to see it on the road soon. And Ray Adkins says hello from VA, Virginia, I'm going to guess. And sorry, guys, I have to skip ahead a bit. I think I'm getting behind. So if I missed your comment or question, please feel free to redo it. Old Car Alley. Wow, another guy I've known for many years here. Merry Christmas from Detroit. Wow. Oh, did I miss French cars are where the future is? See, Randall knows. Especially making fun of French cars seems to be much more lucrative than either fixing, owning, driving, or selling, or making videos about them. Alan Palmer, cheers from New York. Wow, this is so cool. Like, yeah, waiting for the AI videos to get censored or demonetized. I just don't see it happening. But as we get better at spotting them, the thing is that AI can't really create anything. All it can do is like rip off other stuff. So that's the problem with it. And when YouTube is going to pay the channels that just essentially repackage existing content, as long as YouTube's paying them, they've got no reason to go away. I mean, those channels, the people that run them, they don't know the front of a car from the back. They don't speak English. Those channels are 100% created to generate ad revenue for YouTube and themselves. And YouTube doesn't have any interest in policing it because they're getting paid. YouTube's getting paid. All those bot views and bot comments and bot videos and bot, and it's all bots and it's all AI. YouTube doesn't care because they are charging those advertisers for those views, whether a person actually watched it or not. There's the big secret when you see unwatchable videos with 400, 500, 3 million views. Nobody actually watched those videos, but somebody paid. And there's the secret. Oh, it's out. Let's see if my channel disappears tomorrow. Nobody would even notice. Demolition Man, found your videos a few years ago. We've done a project, so I'm excited when you do the Fury wagon. It's an ex-Derby driver. I love the wagons. Yeah, well, this one we saved from the Derby. I would love to do that wagon, but I have to be. It's very easy for ADD types to start 20 cars, but I see it all the time, and you guys seen it. You see it on other channels. Mr. Good Players and guys like that, they'll go to these auctions where somebody has died and there's a yard full of dismantled cars. The pieces for this one are there and the pieces for that one. And you know what happens to it all? Right? So I would way rather go to an auction with a bunch of unstarted projects that you can say, oh, well, he didn't build that car, but I can. Whereas if you get there and it's a bunch of crates of missing stuff and pieces for this and that, and you don't know what they've started and what's missing, that stuff has no value whatsoever to anybody who's serious. So if you're not going to finish it, don't take it apart. And so my policy is, well, and I've got a few taken apart, but that means I'm out there every day and I'm working on that car because my motivation to finish the cars that I'm working on is that I get to start the next one. Like, I don't even drive them really. Like, as soon as it's done, I just want to put it in the garage and start on the next one. So that is the motivation. And that's, I'm happy about that. I don't really care what it takes to stay motivated, but I can't start the 72 Plymouth. I mean, I might still swap the subframes just to make the thing, because cars that run are just much easier to deal with. I can move them around a lot easier. I might do that, but I'm not going to get into that car to where we pull all the interior and windows and everything out of it until I'm actually going to plow through it. That car won't take as long as the ones I'm doing because it's going to get a running drivetrain installed. It's going to get a brake job. It's not, the bottom of the car is not getting detailed. It's going to get paint, interior. Still a big job, but it's not going to be a life-ruining nightmare like this Impala or the Fury was. I think I can do that car in 2 years. That's 2 years of, while I do videos and work on the other cars or whatever. So that's kind of, I think a realistic policy. Sorry. Yeah, and Ham on Wheel says, as we get better at spotting AI will get better at faking us. Absolutely. And it's already, but the difference that's happened now is now everything I see, I look at it and I say, is this even real? Whereas you used to not really question it. You could just watch a video and, the guy fell off a ladder or whatever. Awesome, and you knew he actually fell off the ladder. But now everything I see, I'm like, I'm going to assume that this is fake until, and of course, a lot of these things, they'll mix in real footage with fake footage. And so I'm just like, as soon as I see anything fake, or all the names of their channels are bullshit too, so they're easier and easier to spot. But anyhow, Torino 1600 says there's a Talbot Marina 22 for sale, Montreal Marketplace. That is hilarious. I would not. I mean, that would be a cool car if it came my way for $500, but that's just not going to happen. I love most cars, and that's a really cool car, but it's not for what it would take to get that here, to give it a home, and everything is just, well, is it as cool as an SM? No. Well, I've already got one in SM, so if we're going to have weirdo French sports cars, concentrate on the one I already have. And part of that is how I stop myself from buying 3 more cars every week, because I probably could. Like, I still look every day. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not really trying too hard not to buy cars, but I am trying a bit to not buy cars. So it either has to be so cheap that I don't care, so important that I need it, or so weird. I don't know. It has to be at least two or three out of the three, right? So like the Simca, it was so cheap I didn't care, and it was just I've never seen another one. So if you're gonna ever have a Simca, there's your car, and a cool car. And somebody asked if I was going to restore it, and the answer is probably not, unless I see that it's actually a very easy fix. Even then, restore is a big word. I mean, could I patch it and make a beater out of it? Yes, I could see that possibly happening. But like restore, people use the word restore very loosely, and restore means like that car is just coming down the assembly line. I don't have any restored cars. I have a lot of reconditioned cars and cars that I think are pretty nice, but restored means that car is 0 miles. There's 0 miles on any part of that car. That steering wheel has never been touched. You know what I mean? Restored means that the insides of the mufflers are shiny. That's a restoration. That means it is put back to day one. And so there's very few restored cars. There's a lot of people out there who like to think they have restored cars, or they think that they restore cars, but restored means brand new. It means absolute perfection. And so would I bring the Simca to that? No. Would I patch it up and put a cheapo paint job on it and make it look like a fun? Absolutely. But restored is a word that people use, I think, a bit lightly. And restoration is a, it's very involved. So sorry, how much garage space is left, Paul Scott, before you need to build a new garage? 0. Yes, that's the other problem, is that we have no more room for the finished cars. I need to make another garage sometime in the next couple of years. Fair enough. Oh, one from Australia. Anyway, I'm glad we have methods to support you directly, so my money doesn't go to AI. Thank you very much. Yes, well, that's a totally true, right? And when I started this channel, I didn't want to take anybody's money. I thought the channel would succeed on its own merits, and that never happened. So either the channel is not nearly as good as I thought it was, or for whatever reason, YouTube doesn't want people watching it. Funny that, and I don't want to dwell on that stuff. So I just have to say, I'm going to be very thankful that it exists at all, because I don't want to go fix dented minivans at a 9-to-5er, which is a totally honorable and legit way to make a living. Absolutely. And I respect the people that work that way. And I did it. I did it for years, punching the clock, fixing dented minivans, nothing wrong with it. But the trouble was that I liked cars too much, and it just meant that my own cars weren't getting done. And so this is how we can save some of my cars, and we can have some fun. I struggle sometimes because I want to do certain things on YouTube, and I want to make certain videos. I'd like to make, little short movies and goofy stuff like that. But then I have to say to myself, the only reason you started doing this was so that you might actually get your cars done. So if the YouTube now takes away from the actual work on the cars, then it has lost its original purpose. So anyway, I don't remember what I was talking about, but that's something I think about and have thought about in the past, is let's not let the YouTube channel overshadow what it was designed or supposed to allow me to do, which was to fix the cars. And so if I want to decide to make a movie, well, that means that the certain amount of cars aren't getting done. So I have to say, well, do you want the cars, or do you want to play around with making movies and stuff? So far it's the cars anyway. But I do have to, there's only so many hours, and I do, I do struggle with how to spend them sometimes. And let's see. Oh, did I just bump that? There we go. Sorry. And yes, people have pointed out that I'm very far behind Randall again. French cars are where the future is. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Rat Rider Bob, another name that I've seen many times. Great show. Thank you very much, Bob. That's very kind. Yeah, to be honest, they have to change their name to AI Tube. The U is quickly disappearing. Yes, I would concede that that is the case. I don't pay too much attention to what is going on with the kind of the overall direction of YouTube. I just probably would just get mad if I did figure it out. So I'm just going to keep going, because the way I can do this, and I've been doing it for so long, is I can't let it. If it becomes starting to feel too heavy or too much like something that is, really looming over me, then it would become very difficult to stay motivated to do it every week, twice a week. I mean, the editing for the Saturday videos is 20 hours straight in front of the computer. It's very intense and it's very difficult, and it would be very hard for me to stay motivated to do that if the if every week, and it happens every week, you have to. If I started concentrating on the numbers, I just wouldn't be able to do it because it would be just too depressing. So I just concentrate on the cars, and I concentrate on trying to do the best thing I can with the videos, do the best you can, and do the cars. And if nobody watches it, well, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm not going to change what I'm doing to try and get views, because when that doesn't work, now you're not even working on the cars you want, and that's even worse. So there's these are the kind of the ways that I've had to manage not getting too overwhelmed or depressed or feeling too pressurized to do something different. I mean, the views that this channel gets is pretty much, it's the same every week, and so okay, that's the way she goes. I mean, I can't start worrying about that stuff, or I won't be able to do it. Sean Spring asks, what happened to the red Saab 99? Oh, I sold that car years ago. I actually sold it to Steven, and then he sold it to a fellow I knew in Vancouver, and then he sold it back to another fellow I knew in Edmonton. So the car, I don't know. I think it's still around. I don't know. I honestly don't. It was a pretty decent little 99. I love 99s, but it was just, there's that one car that you always had to fix before you could go somewhere, and it was just like, I got a lot of cars, and this one seems to be requiring the maintenance of any four of them, and that's including the French cars. And I was like, if it's going to be that much trouble and talk about unobtainable parts, it needed the water pump, it needed all the Saab bullshit. And I was just like, and Steven was all goo for it, and he wanted it, and so I sold it to him and the parts cars and everything. And anyway, that's what happened to the 99. I think it's still around. It was a very good example, actually, but I have lost touch with it. Yes. Oh, sorry guys. I think I've even gone further behind here. Let me just dial ahead a little bit here. What's the cheapest car I've ever bought? Well, I mean, I've got lots of cars for zero, and so that's a fair question. But I mean, I guess the cheapest car I've ever got. Oh, you mean what was it? Oh, I don't know. I think the last car I got for free, I got from Derry, actually, was a 1972 Dodge Monaco two-door hardtop. That was a lovely car. And Julian Crooks asked, when am I going to get a Citroen? Oh, well, I have like 12 Citroens, so I guess the answer is 10 years ago. I have lots of Citroens. Mopar Ed. Oh man, look at Ed is here, you guys. Ed, we can thank for the fact that this show exists at all, because Ed was the one I was going to quit about 8 years ago. I was like, you know what? Whatever I'm doing, I'm not changing it, but it's taking up way too much time, and I'm not able to make any bill payments with it. So I was just going to quit. And Ed was the one that said, I bet you if you started a Patreon, there would be enough people that really liked what you're doing that you might be convinced to keep doing it. And that's what happened. So if anybody likes the show, you can thank Mopar Ed. He's the man. Ed has been a enthusiastic patron of this channel for as long as I've let that happen. And the other thing with the Patreon was when I started that and I agreed that people could contribute money, then you notice that the shows went from 1 or 2 a month to 2 a week, always at exactly the same time. And that's because I took that seriously. If people were actually going to donate money to keep this on the air, then I would never, like, I haven't taken a week off in 8 years. I have not missed. I edit on Christmas Day. I'm editing, like, I took that very seriously. And so, thank you guys. But it's because of the patrons that the show exists. And it's certainly because of them that we get more than 1 or 2 a month, because that is the motivation to keep doing it. So anyway, great to hear from Ed. Ed is a long time enthusiast of whatever it is we're up to here. So P. Tyler's World, would you consider a 57 or 8 Fury project if the right one came along? Of course. Yes, of course. I would love a 7 or 8 Fury. But the thing is, I'd be probably, now a Fury is like 7, 8 Fury is a very special, rare car. But a 7 or 8 Belvedere 2-door hardtop looks the same and has a much more accessible buy-in. You could get, a real Fury, just the serial number and a bunch of crumbling garbage is probably outside of my budget. So, but I do have lots of 57 and 8 Plymouth 2-door hardtops here. And I've got enough trim to make a 58 Belvedere, and I've got enough bits and pieces to make a 57 Belvedere, but I might make a 57 Plaza instead, because I kind of thought that would be a fun, after doing the 60 Fury with all the massive amount of trim and everything on it, I thought, what would be really nice is I could shave a year off of this if I just did a Plaza. So I'm thinking about making a 57 Plaza. Roof chop on the Nash. Which Nash are we talking about? The yellow one? I would chop the roof if that's all it needed, but sadly it needs everything. Gordon McQueen says Osborne Tremaine uploaded a vintage video on the Simca this week. Oh, that's cool. Osborne Tremaine is such a great channel. That guy, he has a car collection too. Like, I like him. I like his show. I like his style. I like his collection. He's he has even sent stuff for classic darts. Terrific channel, you guys, if you're not already watching it, but I'm assuming most of you are. Mopar Ed, Merry Christmas. God bless you and yours, everyone. Thank you so much, Ed. And you too, buddy. It's we've been hanging out a long time now. John Powell sent $10. Thank you so much. Oh no, it's £10. Oh, that's like 5,000 Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, John. Okay, I'm taking the rest of the year off. See you guys. We'll keep going. That's very kind, John. And we will waste it on car parts in the way that we do. Terreno says, well, use the way to go. You can still drive a reconditioned car, whereas a restored car, yes. Well, that's the thing, is that a truly restored car that is meant to be shown as a restored car has to essentially not get driven. So, and that's fine. I mean, there's a place for those for sure. I'm not pretending that restored cars are a bad idea. There has to be a standard by which the other cars can be judged. So there's a spot for restored cars for sure. Gene Hasenbuehler is off. Thank you so much, Gene, for stopping in, buddy. Oh, look, there's Cuckoo. How's it going there? Would you like a treat? Oh, she says, I have many treats, Dad. You want one or no? No? What a girl. Yes. Just a nice night with Frankers here. Got the fire going. Trying to stay warm. Now, let's see. Black Magic's hydraulics have what you need for the Impala. Okay, well, that's a fun idea. I think we will be doing air on that, but I'm not sure. Harry Blue Max says, do you get recognized by strangers when you're out and about? Sometimes, but it's never anything bad. It's never like nobody ever comes out to me and is like, I hate you. So that's good. Funniest one, I think, was that Paul was in Florida. Paul from the GCFCE was in Florida, and he went to this little car show in like a hotel parking lot with about 50 cars there. He's walking around, and somebody recognized him in Florida. That was really funny. He's like, "Hey, are you Paul from the GCFCE?" And he's looking around like, that was really funny. So I get a kick out of it when like if somebody came up to Tom. I think Tom was in the auto parts store or something. Somebody came up and started talking to Tom, and anyway, that stuff makes me laugh. Yeah, I think that's fun. And now Seth R.A. been watching for over 10 years. Appreciate the effort. Cheers from Massachusetts. Thank you so much. Matt Saruk. Oh, sorry, Matt. We already talked about Laura's Rover, but it is on the to-do list, and Stephen is working on it now. We'll be getting over to Stephen's place in the next week or two when he's got a minute. He's very busy, but I do want to get over there and show you guys where we're at on the Rover, and just let everybody know it's still coming for sure. Oh, thank you guys. Duncan Frere. Kyle just dropped a short Christmas Eve episode. Oh, nice. Oh, it's good. Well, I tell you, I sure drop what I'm doing to watch whatever Kyle's doing, because I just think his projects are awesome. I'm assuming everybody here, well, Kyle, and we also have to say, has substantially more subscribers than this place now, and I'm very happy for him. And it just shows you what you can do if you don't do shows about getting stoned and smoking cigarettes in French cars. You can actually make a successful YouTube channel by actually doing good work. Or you can just do this. Or you can buy French junkers, hang out with your friends. Thomas says you have to do the old 98 before you start any other cars. Well, the thing with the old 98 is that's a big project too. And that's why I'm not taking that. It's another car that I'm not taking apart. I love that car, don't get me wrong. But if we decide that we're doing that car, that's like that everybody out of the pool on that thing. It's cool and it looks not too bad, but you get up close to it and you're like, well, that's got to, like, are we really going to run an 80-year-old Hydromatic without going through it and checking the seals and stuff? And so no. Well, then if you're pulling the engine out and the transmission out, and next thing you know, are you going to repaint and repair all the rust and then not get the bumpers chromed? So suddenly it's either you leave it alone or you get ready that's going to cost, tens of thousands of dollars and 1,000 hours to put that car together. So, I take it, it's easy to say, oh, you should just fix this up or just fix that up. But like when I committed to doing that 59 Buick, like you take the first bolt out, you're like, this is 1,000 hours. Do you have 1,000 hours? That's as much time as you could get a degree in botany, or you can rebuild this car. And then I've got the Impala, which is probably more than that. I mean, that's almost certainly 1,500 hours in that. The SM is not even too bad, but again, it all comes back to the same thing, which is starting, and YouTube encourages it, right? And that's why you look at certain channels where there's 10 unfinished cars in the backyard that are probably never getting done, because the person running that YouTube channel only cares about the numbers. And so as soon as the numbers start to drop off, that project is in the garbage, and buy something else and do the first 8% of that job. There, we got the roof chopped and it's in primer and in the backyard, never going to get finished. And I'm sorry, YouTube, I'm just in it for the cars. I'm not in it for the numbers. I'm not in it for the money. I just want the cars. I want the cars that I've wanted since I was a kid. I want the cars that I didn't know I needed until yesterday. I just want the cars, and I love it. And I love that this exists because it is allowing me to start putting these cars together. And, we got a long way to go, but I'm feeling good. And as I was saying, I'm so much faster because I've gotten so much practice. I just get, and I was talking to Ashley about this yesterday, is like the goal here with all of my cars is not, can we make this the best one? How fast can we get this to where I can drive it and think that it's decent, and then on to the next one, because I don't want to be the guy that dies with 10 dismantled cars in his yard. Like, I'm going to finish everything I start. And if it means I don't start it, it still means I finish, that means it doesn't get started. It means that whoever gets it when I'm gone gets an untouched, complete car with all the screws where they belong, not some dismantled thing in a bunch of boxes that 99% of the time goes right in the crusher. And we got to remember that the generations of people that are going to restore these early post-war cars, that, those people are not coming along really. And the people that are young and have the ability to restore cars, they have so many more cars to pick from, because every generation has another 25 years worth of cars they want to pick from. And those people didn't grow up looking at the back of a 60 Impala or whatever. Like, those kids, they want the first generation Chrysler Town and Country minivan, or whatever the first car they remember, or whatever. And that's totally fine. But it just means that there's fewer people and more cars. And so, it becomes a challenge to make those decisions. And so I try to be careful. I know it seems kind of chaotic sometimes, but if I seriously say if I say we're doing this car, then we're doing it. And it means that whatever else is not getting done is not getting done until these are done. And I mean, and all I can do is plow through them, and I lose 2 to 3 days a week just in editing and excuse me, and non-car related things. Plus you got to still, fix the house and all that other bullshit. Plus that's assuming that nothing breaks on the dozen cars that are being driven. And it starts to pile up, because every car that gets finished, that car still needs oil changes, and it still needs to be driven, and it still needs blah, blah. And I'm not complaining, but so we balance that with, can we get better at this? Can we build these pieces faster? Can we get better? So that's, that's kind of the balancing act. And a big part of it is like saying to myself, I know I want to tear that 53 olds apart right now, but if I do, it's just going to be a whole bunch of boxes stacked up. It might as well be a running, driving car. And if something happens and I don't get to it, at least it never, the worst thing you can do is tear a car all apart and lose half the parts, throw it all inside, leave it outside to get rained on for a few years, and then sell it. Like, that's the easy part. That's the, and that's 90% of car projects do not get finished. And I think I would venture it's probably closer to 95. Because it's a big project, and there's always, and it can't be a priority, because if you took apart your only car, then it would be priority. But most people have a car that they can drive, and they take apart some derelict piece of shit that they have no idea what they're doing. And well, that car has no chance, and it's fine. I mean, the world's full of cars, whatever. But for the best thing for any car is to just don't take it apart. And if you're going to take it apart, finish it and put it back together. So that's all I know about cars. Porsche Racer. Oh my God, $100, dude. Merry Christmas, you and yours, and make the rust turn into art. Well, thank you so much. Another fine and exceedingly generous patron of the show, I believe, from our neighboring province of Saskatchewan. Thank you again so much, buddy, and been with us on the Patreon for so long. You guys, I don't mind saying, it's for you. The show is for you. And you guys, that's all for Ed. Yeah, cheers. Thank you again, Ed. The 1950 Special Deluxe Family Calls. He's out. Cheers, buddy. Just wait till Scott starts the Simcoe restoration. The subs will go through the roof. Yeah. Somebody said, hi, Dean. Oh, there's Dean. Dean, don't give me $13. What the hell's the matter with you? Anyway, everybody, that's Dean. Dean giving $13.99 to Coldwarmotors. Is that just so I'd notice? Oh, there he says, my cars aren't getting done, but I can dream. Well, you can dream, or you could work on them. Dean, that's awesome. Oh, and David, I didn't even see this. Sorry, David. Sorry, guys. I have to skip ahead because this thing is faster than me. David Hollinger sent us $20 as well. Thank you so much, David. That is very kind, and we will waste it in the most appropriate way. I also have to send off my 8mm. I've been shooting more 8mm, so. Thomas says, I have a new trans for the Olds 98. Just put it on the road. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm happy to. It's just put it on the road is the 1,000 hours. That's the thing. Dean, well, it's cool. Thanks for stopping in, Dean. You guys, Dean is Al Barrett 1566 today, I guess. Dean is 20-cent motor says, let's get back to smoking the French cars. Gitain or Gauloise? I have, when the SM is done, I have a brand new NOS pack of Gauloise and Gitain cigarettes. And I don't know if I'll be able to bring myself. I was hoping to light them up for a Classic Darts episode, but the fellas got busy. We had a blizzard here, and Justin runs the snowplow. So sadly, I would have, rather been letting you guys watch a Classic Darts episode right now. But here we are. So let's see. So trying to catch up here. Red Delta. I saw 88 Taurus station in Southwest Ontario. Yeah, 88 Taurus. That's cool. That's the last of the very first, and you don't see them. That'd be fun. You lose car time because Dean keeps sending you old car ads and pics. Yeah, right. Dean sending me pictures. Well, Dean, you should come over sometime and work on your stuff. Harry Blue Max. I've been watching your car content since 2006. Your channel is the first Will It Run I ever saw. Well, I did. Thank you. I did start that. But, of course, intellectual property on the internet is a non-existent thing. So that now Haggerty has a Will It Run series, which was the name of my show. It was called Will It Run, and the channel was Coldwarmotors. And after about the 8th guy ripped it off, I just said to hell with it. I'm just going to do something else. Let's see. John Malloy in Australia. Cheers, John. My son reckons I like weird French cars. Used to have a 206 GTI. Ooh, 206 GTI is a pretty cool car. And now he daily has Citroen C5 diesel. Yes, I don't think I know for sure we never got those in Canada. The last Citroens we got in Canada were SMs and Ds. We got Ds, and there were some gray market CXs, but single digit numbers. And Carrie G, thank you so much, Carrie. Well, that is awesome. And well, that's very kind of you, Carrie. No question from Carrie, so let's just assume that Carrie is generally approving of whatever's going on around here. It's awesome. What year did you start the $5 roaster? Well, that's a great question because I don't even know. I think it was around 2006, probably 20 years ago now. Probably 20 years ago. So I really want to just get it done because I've blown a lot of warm air on that thing over the years, and it would be really nice if it was just done. So yes, I got to talk to the fellas. I know the thing with it is, and I was talking about the SM with Ashley about this, is it's not the kind of thing that you can dabble an hour here and an hour there. If we're going to do that, we have to be like, this is all we're doing until it's done. And it's just so hard. And as much as YouTube has allowed me to save so many of these cars, it also has, if something is not really compatible with what I'm filming on YouTube, it tends to not get done. And eventually, so i.e. the house, nobody wants to watch me work on the house. So it didn't get worked on for 10 years. Well, now it's not an option anymore. So if I want to actually still live in this house, it had to get fixed. So that's fine too. So there is the answer on the $5 Roadster. I really do want to finish it. I want to pick up Tom and go get my $5. And, but as I say, if we do start on that, well, I mean, the Impala videos do pretty good, and people are kind of into the Impala and the Buick, and if we start on that, that means that's really all I'm going to be working on, and so, and it's part of the problem again, and it goes back to, people want to watch the first 8% of a project and then they're bored of it. But I don't care. I still have to do the other 92%. So it means if I'm sewing the seats and nobody cares, I don't care. I'm sewing the seats because I want the car. I can't let what's going to get views determine what I'm filming, or I just won't. I'll just have another yard full of 20% finished cars like certain other people do, and that's fine. Those people probably made a lot more money on YouTube than I ever will. But I'm not trying to make money on YouTube. I'm trying to get my cars built. And there is a difference, and that's the fundamental difference. So, 57 Buick Century. Thank you so much. I had to give more than Dean. Oh, savage. Beats him by 1 cent. Dean, hey, come on, Dean. Give me 2 cents. See if you can donate 2 cents, Dean. Thank you so much, Buick Century. That's awesome. Jeffrey Martin said, who else ordered the issue of Rolling Heavy magazine? Well, let's see. And John Moy says, I'm taking my Bedford van off the road for a refresh. CAWM is a great help with my amateur tin bashing. Well, that's very kind of you to say. We're all amateurs here. So just practicing and trying to get a little better each time. 20 cent. Mike Latina 207, $20. Well, thank you so much. Keep up the good work. Well, I'll keep up the work. That's very kind of you. Well, and this is not a cynical Christmas Eve money grab, you guys. So if you don't spend money that you should be spending on your kids to appease some old wino that lives in a junkyard. Let's see. Sorry, somebody else asking about the wagon. So we did kind of talk about that. I can't go over the same questions too many times, but it'll probably, I'd like to see it get running next summer, but it won't be getting restored or reconditioned right away until a couple other are done. I just have to get it. Kyle, don't give me $10. Put this towards fresh product to touch up the cracked Bondo on the Simca fenders. $10 is probably enough to remud those Simca fenders. So tell you what, I'll send you $50 and you drive out here and you do it with me. That's our plan. Forklift chop still on the books, buddy. Marshall Crank ordered 2 copies of Rolling Heavy. That's awesome. Well, I think we're almost caught up. Mark Howley 6537 sent me $50. What are you doing? Thank you so much. What's the plan for the Brown Kaiser you moved out of the barn? Well, I'll tell you what, the plan was to let it sit on the lot there. And then we've had a gentleman named George who has been sending me parts for the car. So he has sent brake cylinders, rebuild kit for the Master, all the hoses. And so I think there's a certain small fringe group of people who are encouraging me to get that car roadworthy. Of all the cars that are sitting outside, it's probably the easiest one to get roadworthy. I think still needs a complete interior. The interior is completely gone. There's nothing. There's not even rags or ribbons left. It's just metal. So need a full interior. Engine seems good. The radiator is very badly plugged. I'd have to redo that. The body, I'd probably just leave it. I think that car could be put back on the road if you don't try to paint it or make it look nice. And if you don't try to make the interior too fancy. If you just were to really bare bones kind of, I did get the thing running very well. And I think that I was all used clutch and used everything, but I think everything that I put in it had enough life in it that you could certainly drive it as much as I would ever want to. I do love the styling of the 51 Kaiser. I just think they're one of the prettiest post-war cars. Pardon me, sorry guys. Oh, and Matthew Bergen Garage, have a Merry Christmas. Did you receive my package? Yes, Matthew. Thanks, buddy. I actually have ready almost ready, all of the mail opening. Kyle was here. Dan from the GCFC was here. Dean was here. My brother was here at different times. And we opened all the mail because there was, it started to pile up. And some of it I thought that I had opened, and it turns out it had been put in a different box, but it was actually from a couple of years ago. So we opened all that too. It was awesome. And so I've edited all that into a video that I was going to try and put up. But I was like, do we really want another mail opening profanity festival for Christmas? So I thought, we'll put that up kind of after Christmas. There was just no way of bleeping out all the swearing when you get Kyle Carter in there. So I decided that I would do that. We'll do the mail video after. But yes, thank you, Matthew. I did absolutely get your package. Wink, wink. The wiring harness. That's what it was. Yes. It was weed. Yeah, cool. Doug loves old cars. I thought it was Doug loves sold cars. No question. Just want to say hi. I watch you all the time. Thank you so much, Doug. Thanks for watching it, man. And that's really in the end what this is about. Is if enough people watch it, then I guess great. That's what we're doing, right? That was the whole idea of YouTube when it started. It wasn't about who can make the most money or get the most whatever. It was like put whatever you're doing out there, and the fact that every schmo in their garage or whatever they were doing had the access to the same level of distribution, right? And just like the way that GarageBand and all that stuff changed music recording to where I can record in my office here stuff that has better sound than like when we were kids. We actually went to a studio and recorded a whole album of original material, and the stuff that I'd make here sounds better, and it costs nothing. Like we spent a year's wages doing that when we were kids. And so YouTube is, that's what it's about. It's really about a platform. Well, it's what it used to be about. Now it's about controlling the narrative like everything else. But we won't get into that because we can always do a live stream with Uncle Tony if we wanted. Uncle Tony is awesome, by the way. It's been very kind of him to have me on multiple times this year onto his show. RCS 650 says, I have a standard poodle Belgian Malinois. Now you would know why I call Frankers the Menace. Oh, yeah. Anything with the poodles, man. That is a bossy dog, but I just wouldn't have it any other way. I would not have it any other way. So anyway, yes, thank you again, Mark Howley, for that very kind donation. And that is, I guess, if enough people want, here's the trouble with YouTube though, is every time you buy a car or drag one home or get one running, most people in the comments are like, you have to restore that car now. But like I said, last video is like, there's like 3 zeros difference in the hours between getting it running and driving it to the mailbox and back and putting plates on it and driving it anywhere. And so I do love getting them running, and I like that all my cars on my lot run, even though they're not plated. They're running, driving cars, but they're really only 2 hours closer to being on the road than the ones that don't run. The ones that drag in here with no wheels on them and whatever, those are only a couple hours behind the ones that run. It's the 1,000 to get the wipers and the signal to work and the heater to not blow mouse shit on you and everything, the glass and the weather stripping, and it can't whistle and has to have new mufflers and proper tires and brakes. That's, getting them running and driving around. That's easy. The reason I started doing that was because it was easier than trying to tow them around. I was like, well, just get them running. And then I thought that'd be a fun thing for this YouTube channel. Just see what we can get running. Just buy all these junky old cars and get them to run. Nobody's ever done that. Well, now they have. Oh, there's Jeremiah. Cheers, buddy. Happy Christmas to you too, man. And Conrad Kenneth, another name I recognize so many times. So cool. Thank you guys so much. Out of Order Garage. The packing for the calendar was thin. A lot of the tape and frayed open. Luckily, it suffered no damage. Oh, that's good. we have not had too many go too terribly wrong. The thing with the packaging was it had to be under a certain mass or the shipping price doubled. I mean, if it was just a matter, if it was all going to be the same price for shipping, but I would, I'd wrap them in wood and I'd put plastic around it. But the thing is that we have the mass of the calendar and then you have the mass of the packaging and there's the line. And at that line, the shipping goes from $10 to 20. So we just do the best we can up to that line. And like, that's all we can do. So really the packaging was more so they didn't get folded. That's why we brought that heavy, thick corrugated packaging. Anyway, I'm glad it arrived and thank you so much for buying one. And Samuel Wade, $20. Well, thank you so much, man. And that is extremely kind of you. I mean, it's don't anybody like have too many Christmas cheers and too much eggnog and and donate money that's supposed to buy your kids stuff. So, but it's very kind of you, Samuel. Thank you. And no question from Samuel. So I guess the next question is brought to you by Samuel, even though it won't be his question. I hope he doesn't hate the question. Oh, and Randall just grinding me here. Randall donated $2.58 to buy the next 5 French cars. Now that's how you troll on YouTube. Oh, whoops, sorry. There's just a note from Agent 2112, wishing everybody Merry Christmas. That's very kind. Agent 2112, singularly responsible for helping me salvage this house too. That's awesome. So, where are we at? Vanessa says, Mom just made pierogies with potatoes and onion. Oh, you are lucky. I do not have any of that. Mark agrees with my take on the Kaiser. Kaiser, useful, but not beautiful. Yes, I don't like that. Joe's not even impressed. Joe is he's not happy about the $2.58, basically saying you're only going to encourage him. And it's probably true. And let's see. Happy John 8256. Will you ever fix a few cars from each decade? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do, actually. I have 20s car, 30s car on the road, 40s car on the road, 50s cars on the road, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s cars on the road. And after that, I lose interest. So all I want now is a teens car, if I can get one, something from 1912 to 1919, but not a T, because all the T's drive the same. So if I got a 1919 Model T, it's not really that different from a 1926 Model T. So if I can find a 1918 Overland or something to that effect, nothing fancy. I don't want to, anything that's valuable, but it would be really neat to have one from the teens. And then when you get below 1910, it gets harder to find like $500 1906 cars. So I still want to try that. But yeah, that has kind of been the plan for a while. That's why one of the reasons I have 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, which would be the Renault 5, the 90s, I got the Volvo, 70s, I've got multiple 70s cars, 60s cars, I've got at least 2 or 3 1960s cars on the road right now, 50s cars, of course, got several of those. 40s is the Fraser, and I also have the 41 Plymouth, which is not on the road, but I'd like to put it on the road. And then we got the 37 Chev and the Model T and the Dodge for the 20s. And so, yeah, I guess, we're slowly getting there, but it's, it is kind of fun, actually. So let's see if we got any. Pat McLean says the straight 8 challenge was awesome. Well, thank you, Pat. That was one of my favorite things that we did. The V8 showdown I thought was very good. I really enjoyed doing those, the showdown type of things with the junkers. The thing with those is as much fun as it is, it's a huge amount of work, not just for me, which I'm happy to put in, but it's asking a lot of your friends to come over once a week. And it sounds easy once a week, but talking about guys, especially some more than others, but most of these guys work very hard and have lives and jobs. And so if somebody's not on the show for a while, it's probably just because they're very busy. And in order for this to work and keep working and for it to be fun and friendly, is I can't be like, you have to get over here and make my videos. Like, none of that can happen. So I try my best to keep it as spontaneous and casual as possible. And those showdown types of things require, even if it's a couple of days where you have a real hard date, I feel bad about that. And it's a very difficult thing. Like when we shot the V8 showdown, like that was Dan's only day off in the last 40 days. It was his only, and he had like 1 hour that he could spare, and that was it. And I get it. If that means that anybody who's not there in that 1 hour that Dan can make it, you're not in it. That's the way it goes. And I can't get, bitchy about it, because it's not their problem. It's my problem. And so, yeah, it's again a balancing act between trying to make something the best you can without it becoming burdensome, especially on your friends. Because if I start taking too much of my friends' time up with this, then they just disappear. So, and I wouldn't blame them. Like, I have to, I trade my time for their time. So that's why if somebody wants to be in my video and help me make this show, then I will come over to their house and I will clean parts and whatever. And maybe I get to film a little bit while I'm there, but I'm there to let them know that my time, I want to give my time back to them as well. And that's how we've been able to get away with it. And that's, and it does seem like a big group kind of effort thing of guys helping each other out, because that's what it is. That's what it's meant to be. And I don't think it would be much different. Certainly my life wouldn't be much different if all the YouTube were to go away tomorrow. All the same guys would be here on Saturday night. My yard would still look the same. I would still be working on the cars. And I would still be going over to my friend's house a couple nights a week and helping them work on their cars. Nothing would really change. And that's how I've been able to do it for so long, is that it's not a show. It's just, I'll have this little camera with me. And if we're doing something fun, I'm going to record a bit of it. And that's all I ask. And that's all you really can ask if you want it to stay something that's fun and spontaneous. I don't know. Been rambling a bit here. Let's try and get caught up a bit, shall we? Rolling Heavy magazine. Woo! You guys all got your copy of Rolling Heavy. Man, that is awesome. I want to say again, thank you to Matt for letting us, for putting us in that awesome magazine. There's so little worthy print publications anymore, and to have one that is as old school and as cool as that, still existing and entirely on the back of one person and their vision, is really amazing. And that is, it's one thing to be an independent musician or independent, but to do an independent print magazine in this day and age and do it all yourself is a pretty massive achievement. And so I think, I'm honored to have been a tiny part of that. And so I want to say thanks again to Matt. And that's, you guys get your Rolling Heavies. Got, I don't know how much longer this issue will be on sale, but I hope he's got a couple left. It's beautifully done. It's like the calendar, all very high quality paper. It's very good. Happy John said, do you think your agent, that'd be Ashley, will fix up the Torino? I think so, yes. Now, when we say fix up the Torino, I think we will be building a 72 Torino, and that car there is either going to be the top half of it, or it's going to be the parts car if he buys a better fastback. We're actually if he can find a nice coupe, we will turn it into a fastback by splicing the two cars together. The car is, anything can be fixed, but on its own, it's quite poor, right? Like it's very poor. And by the time you bought enough pieces to make a better one, wouldn't you have been better off buying a better car? And so that's where we're at. But that car has paid for itself 3 times over just in the value of the interior parts. So it's not like that was a bad buy, that car, even though the motor's shot and blah, blah, and it's never going to run again. That was still worth what he paid just for the buckets, console, rim blow steering wheel, special gauge package, excellent door panels. All the stuff that we can't make out of flat steel is in that car. And Ashley he didn't care about the broken engine because he had a vision for a choppy 460 anyway. And so that's what will be going in it. And so, yeah, the Torino will come to be at some point. And it's going to be just like so many of them are, like that Datsun that we made. That is the best of 4 or 5 cars put together. And the cars on their own, like no one of the 5 on its own was really anything to write home about. But when you took the best bits from all 5 and 1,000 hours of your time, you get a very nice car. So just because 172 Torino is here and it's in bad shape doesn't mean that there's not a 72 Torino that will get put together. And the thing is with that car is it's rough, but it was cheap. And there's a lot of cars out there that look good, and then you get them home and they're just that. They're just that garbage that's in the backyard with a cheap coat of paint on it. So I would rather buy the garbage and pay garbage money than buy tarted up garbage and pay real money, and turns out it's just shiny garbage. So and the reason we started on the fiberglass car was not because one suddenly took priority over the other. It was because, and we do this too, like with the Impala, say, if I hadn't found the parts car for the Impala, I would not have started on that project. And so Ashley has the Torino project and he's got the fiberglass car project. And it just so happened that the pieces and bits came together for the fiberglass car relatively quickly. And he had a buyer for all the Volkswagen chassis, and everything is gone already. That's already sold. So when those things all come together, well, then it makes sense to start that car first, even though you didn't buy it first. The Torino, we're still haven't got a usable engine, and still looking for. And the thing is, the Torino, that chassis, that basic structure, other than the things that make it a 72 fastback, which is basically the fenders and the roof. The rest of that car is not rare, right? So a 75 Cougar would provide a good frame and everything. Turns out we bought one and it didn't also have a good engine. It was also a junk. So anyhow, that's why the fiberglass car is underway. It's not because it took priority. There's no real priority when they're all going in the same garage. It's just that car, the engine, transmission, differential, all came along at very reasonable prices, and a buyer for the Volkswagen parts, which paid for everything else. So it was like at that point, well, now I'm into this for zero, and I've got all the bits, and it's in my garage. So I was just over there today, and we're Ashley's building the frame from scratch. We'll have a bit of video on that coming up, and he's got the engine for it. I'll leave that as a surprise, but it's not Volkswagen anymore, that's for sure. A whole bunch of Merry Christmas. Thank you guys so much. Merry Christmas to everybody there too. As I say, it's I've kind of come full circle on Christmas, not to the point where I'm stomping up and down waiting and just can't wait for it and stuff. But, there was a time where I was like, it's all phony bullshit. And even if it is, I've kind of come to realize that it is it's something that we need to preserve, even if all of it that it means to us is Christmas trees and shopping and getting stuck in the snow and getting drunk. Then that's what we preserve. Then that's what we save. I think we got to preserve it at some level, because there's of course a gigantic machine out there which is trying to take down all of these things one at a time, without getting too specific. So it sounds funny, like go out and put lights on your house and fight the man, but it's literally come to that, where, and that gets me into something. If enough people tell me not to do something, then I'm into it and I'm doing it. So anyway, Merry Christmas to everybody as well. And I'm happy to see that there's so much of that sentiment here. Of course, we have a very particular demographic here. I won't say old, but older than some. And so really, happy to see it, something, that it still means so much to so many people. Let's see. To me, Steve. Steve's uncle has a friend with a 51 Manhattan. That's cool. Yeah, I would love a Manhattan, but I don't know. Maybe the Kaiser Special is more appropriate to what we're doing here, being the absolute bottom line model, and it's brown. It's I kind of have to save it just because nobody else would. Like, that is a parts car anywhere else. So, let's see, where are we? Sorry, guys. Just every time I touch the little thing, it scrolls right to the bottom, and then I don't remember where I was. So, let's see. Tall boy, I've been enjoying the conversation about making an apple pie for tomorrow. Well, from New Hampshire. Fantastic. Do any of those cars have a Hemi in them? No, I don't have any early Hemis. Dan's got one, but he's got a car that he wants to put it in, and that'll be a surprise. Those Hemi engines cost more than I really have budget for, and my cars tend not to be really engine centric. I like the engines to be good, and I like them to be clean. I like them to run properly, and I like engines, but some guys, the engine is the thing, and the car is just like the thing that holds the engine. Or whereas I'm like, the engine is the thing that moves the cool parts around. So that's just a different take on what we do. Ash is much, Miles is both. They're both much more engine centric than me, and they and it shows. Their cars all sound wicked and they're fast and whatever. But that's great, and I'm really happy for them. And they're both going to be involved. We're going to start the engine for my Impala next month. It's time to get into that 283. And I know you could put any number of bigger small blocks in there and whatever, but I want it to be a 283. And so we'll see. I'm leaving the cam and pistons and all that stuff, leaving all the decisions to the boys, because that maybe they'll be a little more into helping if they got to pick the parts. So really looking forward to that. I've never actually rebuilt a small block Chevy. I'm not anticipating it'll be terribly difficult, because we are not trying to, we're not going crazy. I love the way the Buick engine came out. Thing starts right up, doesn't smoke, sounds great. Cost me $1,100 to build that motor. Use the old pistons. I think I used the old rod bearings. Like, there was so little wear on it. Sorry, I just saw Dave Carter, that's Kyle Carter's dad, says, I think you need an Auburn if you could find one. So yes, if only I knew where there was a crunchy old Auburn. Yeah, but we'll never pry that out of Kyle's hands. I know it. He's too enamored with being part of the Auburn Cord Duesenberg Club now. And, well, it's all right. I know it was me that egged him on to buy it. I actually was amazed at how inexpensive that car. Now, of course, you look at it. I mean, there's some work there. So, but Kyle's Auburn, yeah, that's going to be awesome. I think he'll get that. He'll get that on the road. And he's going to drive it just the way it is, which is just awesome. And my name is 9057, says you're blessed to have such a great group of friends, and that is absolutely true. And I don't ever take that for granted, yeah, and it's part of the thing is, how do you get a great group of friends? Well, you try to be a good friend, be a good friend to your friends. Like they say, be worth knowing. And that's, sounds trite, but it's actually a pretty easy thing to live by. well, maybe not easy to live by, but it's a pretty basic, premise. Just if you want to have good friends, you have to be a good friend. And if you want to know people that are worth knowing, you have to be worth knowing yourself. What are you bringing? You have to bring something. You have to bring something to the party. Luckily, if you can do body work, you can usually use that to, compensate for a lot of other personality traits that you may have that are not very good. But he's like, he's an asshole, but he can paint cars, so we'll put up with him. That's worked for me for years. Yeah, and I think if I had anything to say to anybody, it would be, and some people are surprised that I have good friends. Well, there's a lot of people that aren't on that list, and you just pick the best ones and try to be worth their time. Try to be worth your friend's time. And it doesn't just happen, like the quality of some of the people I know. These are people that don't have time for a lot of friends. And if you want to be their friend, you better be good at like sanding or something. Rolling Heavy, thank you for the hard work. My favorite issue. Well, my favorite issue too, buddy. Thank you so much. That is fantastic. Yes, you guys, Rolling Heavy. They also have a YouTube channel. So if you're watching this, as soon as this is over, which could be any minute now, well, you guys tell me, go over there and subscribe to Rolling Heavy on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel, and I think that Matt said he was going to do a lot more on YouTube. If I'm answering for you, Matt, just say, no, I'm going to do less. Or you could just text me. Just text me and be like, shut up about my YouTube channel. Anyway, guys, go over there. Mopar Dan 65 asking about the Mark II. We did go over that a little earlier, but yes, we will see it again. That's all. I will answer your question. We will see it again, but it's beyond my control right now. French Fry says, do you think in the future we're going to have a calendar with the American holidays? I tried to put as few holidays as possible. I actually took off a bunch of Canadian woke ones for you guys. I took off a bunch of the holidays. I didn't think that Christmas was a Canada-only holiday. But, sorry. I try not to put too many holidays in it, but I'm not going to put the American ones in, because then all the calendars that go to Canada or Europe, they're not going to really understand what Columbus Day is or anything. So I just try to put as few possible as in there. I mean, I'm not going to not put Christmas and New Year's in. I think I put Halloween. I think I put Victoria Day just because it was May long weekend. That used to be my favorite holiday. So anyhow, the holidays, you can just put just write something more exciting in there if you like. Myron Hoyson, holy cow, $100, dude. What are you doing? Thank you so much. What a terrific Christmas present for me. And you're welcome, man. I really do try, and I guess I hope that people realize sometimes if they see a video and it's not all the stuff that they wanted to see or whatever, that I try just as hard on every one. It's only a question of what I got to get up to that week. I don't have the luxury of waiting a month and then picking all the most interesting stuff I did. But I really do try. I've never sat down and go, you know what, I deserve to mail it in this week, because there are people that have opened their wallets to keep this on the air, and they deserve the very best that I can do. So thank you. And it's easy to be loyal to the people who allow you to live your life and do what you want with it. To be able to get up in the morning, to be able to get up in the very early afternoon and hang out with friggers and go for a walk and then work on my cars is really it's something I don't want to ever take for granted, and I try not to. It's a pretty decent way. Now, I didn't have a 9-to-5er for years before I ever thought of YouTube. It's not like I was always like grinding it out in the traffic every morning. I kind of quit that about 25 years ago. I just was like, I can't live this way. I'm not doing this. So I just was fixing cars in my garage, and then one day I just started filming it, and then gradually I was able to shift less customer cars, more of my own cars. A, because they make for more interesting video than fixing dented Hyundais, and B, as the YouTube slowly gained a little traction, we were able to take a few less days of scrambling to pay the phone bill. So that's how we've done it, and that's that's how it manages to still be going here. Patrick Moran, I hope that I said that right, Patrick. Thank you so much. Oh, Patrick Moran sent me $14 again. Thank you. That's awesome. Hi, Scott. I'm a Mopar guy through and through, but I love the SM. That is cool. It makes you a very tiny number of people who would say that they like both of those cars, myself among them. I just think that it's a fantastic spaceship car. I'm, I'd really like to put it together sooner than later, but I also, again, we're, the platform that allows me to fix my cars is also the platform that to some extent dictates which ones I can work on. Now, I guess this would be a lot easier for me if I picked cars that weren't each 1,000 hours plus. Some of the cars, and it's not that I do that, I think it makes for good videos when you salvage these terrible, terrible cars and make them into something. But it makes for better, or good cars. If you just buy a nice car like that 37 Chev, like I never even turned the welder on that car. That's so far removed from my usual stuff. Oh, look at that. It's Matt at Rolling Heavy. Thanks, buddy. He says he's got 4 videos coming up for you guys. So get over there and subscribe. That is really cool. Yeah, that's really fun. And it's fun when guys like that will text me. That's really cool. The people I've gotten to meet and stuff has been really fun. Let's see. Take. Oh, there's Agent 9088 in BC. CECCBC is the classic European car club of British Columbia. Merry Christmas, Bun, Frankers, Scott, and agents. Hopefully there aren't any 2026 projects that are as ruinous that I'll be able to manage a trip your way. Yes, please do. Please spin by anytime with that lovely Lancia. I hope Bruce noticed it made the credit reel. One of my favorite shots was the little Renault and the Lancia and Steven Subaru all in the driveway there. I was very happy with that. I thought it turned out really good. Delightful. And I've known Bruce since before YouTube, substantially. I think I met Bruce probably in 2005, 6, somewhere in there, maybe 5, 4 or 5. Anyway, yes, Bruce has been a very important part of the European car division of Coldwarmotors for many years, and we do send him all the very best. It's too bad that Bruce is so far away, because I would waste so much more of his time if he was a little closer. Bruce, I bought my gold Renault 5 from 12 years ago now, Bruce. Time flying. Tim Roberts says, just want to know you're my favorite channel. Thank you so much, Tim. Especially love the splices. Great. Well, we've got more of those coming. And the next place, well, I won't say because I don't know for sure yet, but I've got a few picked out. Let's see. Out of Order Garage, dinner calls, he's out. Cheers. Thank you so much for stopping in, buddy. Duke Luke Garage said, what engine am I after? Oh, I'm not really after any engines right now. I've got the engine for the Buick. I've got the engine for the Impala. I've got the engine for the SM, and I have 2 engines for the Roadster. So I'm pretty good for engines. Yeah, I think one day I'm going to want a 383, but they're not that hard to find. I'll probably just buy a whole car and take the 383 out of it. I want to build a proving grounds type of car out of one of my Plymouths. So that's kind of the plan. Morgan's Sword. Oh, Morgan, cheers, buddy. Been listening for 2 hours. Merry Christmas from Alaska. Fantastic. Oops, nice to hear from somewhere that's probably colder than we are. Alaska, I've not been. I've been to the Yukon, but not to Alaska. For the Torino. Sorry, Duke Crash says. I think we've got the engine for the Torino sorted. Dean has a multiple 460s, so we just have to go over there when it warms up a bit and take one out. Yeah, Dean has multiple good 460s in his yard. What does Ashley do for a job? It's all top secret. Everybody's very top secret. He works for himself. He works very hard, but he does own his own company, and it is in the automotive kind of area. So Ash has been working on cars. He started doing engine swaps at like 13 years old, working for a garage after school. And so Ash has been in the car game a long time. Yeah. Let me just see if am I getting a, whoops. Sorry, guys. Am I really that far behind here? Holy cow. Sorry. I didn't really think about that. Shane Fleur 64 is working on a 60 DeSoto. Yes, that's awesome. And let's see. Angela Racino asks if there's plans for the blue Cummins truck. Well, I think I touched on it earlier. The plan for the blue Cummins was to eventually, now there's no hurry on this, and this could change, but right now the plan for it is to drive it until I have time to put the Ford F-250 body on it. Of course, it's one of the very few vehicles that doing something like that would actually probably decrease the value of it. Those early first-gen Cummins trucks with four-wheel drive and a stick shift actually have reasonable value in stock condition, but I don't want to be like restoring my work truck. But honestly, I probably could resell it for more than my Fury if it was restored. They're just so sought after now. And it's funny because they're just farm trucks around here for years and years. Nobody ever thought of it. French fried. Not all of your fan base is retired. I'm 26-year-old. I have a 29 Model A pickup and a 42 sedan. You're my inspiration. Wow, holy cow. Thank you. And congratulations on being the youngest person that's watched this channel, I would say. When you do YouTube, you get all your little statistics. You can look up to your statistics on a little page in your thing. And you can even kind of chart your audience by, age and all this. And I think if everybody under 40 were to die, my channel would be affected by like 2% or something. Like, it's actually kind of alarming how few young people are even. No, I was going to say watch this. Yeah, I was going to say watch this, and not how few young people are into cars, because there's lots of young people who are into cars. They're just not into whatever it is that I'm doing. So, and that's fine, and it's actually cool to hear from somebody under 40 who actually enjoys this kind of thing. And so, thank you, and tell your friends. Sassy. Sorry about that, buddy, for ruining that. Merry Christmas from Illinois. Fantastic. Merry Christmas from Alberta. And West Coast Ride. Merry Christmas from Orange County. Wow. Your channel brings calm. Well, that's great. Thank you. Jerry Upsmore at 85. Wow. Great. Thank you very much, Jerry, and have a great 26 as well. And let's see. Duke Crash loves the Auburn that Kyle has. Yes, we're all very jealous of Kyle's posh Auburn. Jet Loss, Uncle Tony said there were poly blocks that would accept first-gen Hemi heads. Yes, I have one, the very early ones, which is the 270, not the later 318 poly, but the early ones. They're not quite the same. They're not the same. but I believe that the 270 or 277 will take heavy heads. But excuse me, I'm just I'll tell you what, if one comes my way, I will scoop it up, but I'm not paying what they're worth. I'm not paying retail for an engine that I could buy a set of tires for two of my cars and windshields and stuff like that. So I have to be very conscious that really the budget for my cars is about 10 grand, and that's chrome, glass, weather stripping, tires, exhaust stuff. I mean, I could do my own exhaust, but there's a guy locally here, Mike's, who's just so good, and it's just that's to me as dessert. He did all the welding, he did all the graft and the sanding and the painting, and he done all this crap, and then you get one thing that you don't want to do, which is exhaust, where you could just drop it off with some guy who's got all the tools and does an absolutely beautiful job. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to pay him, and I'm looking forward. And it's so nice. You go to pick it up, and it's like they're perfectly even, and it's perfectly done, and you're like, that is its own thing. Just happy that there is a person that I trust with my cars. And Mike's done the Furies. He's done Dean's Edsel. He did the 37 Chevy. Yeah, he's just terrific. Local Mike's custom exhaust here in Sherwood Park. 100% a fan. So I like the idea of Christmas, just don't like the Hallmark end of it. Yeah, fair play. And for years I was kind of like grouchy about it, and now I'm just like, we have to we have to preserve what we can take from it. Like, and it's not always the same thing, but I think that the idea itself needs to stick around. Um, let's see. The 87 GLHS. Oh, it's a Dodge Omni fan. Scott, can't decide if you're motivational or a bad influence. Based on the two rusty junkers parked in my backyard, I suspect my wife would say the latter. Oh, well, fair play. I think I would say that if you've got rusty junkers in your backyard, then I'm a good influence. But anyway, thank you very much. And thanks for watching. I recognize the name for many years now. Yeah, 20 Cent Motor says the right people like watching bodywork. And I guess, I mean, the funny thing is I didn't do any bodywork on the channel for like the first 8 or 10 years. I was just like, we'll keep that. That's, separate from what the channel was supposed to just be arsing around and dragging junkers home and getting them running. But as I realized that had all been co-opted and commercialized by people who were more savvy than me, then I was like, okay, well, tell you what, let's find something that they can't, and I'm not watching a lot of channels rip off my Fury project because they can't. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess we're just our market, whatever it is, will be the bodywork. And don't get me wrong, I love doing bodywork. It's never hard to talk me into going out there and doing bodywork. I just love it. I always have. I don't know what's wrong with my head. Like, I dropped out of university to go work in a body shop. I just love it. And Kyle, that's why I love Kyle so much. Like, Kyle just loves bodywork. We get up in the morning, we go work on cars, and you go to sleep, and that's good enough, And like when the cars are done, I just put it in the garage and I'm starting on the next car because it's the doing that's the thing. So, yeah, there's over the years I've put a lot more body work in the show, but it's also because as the show has become something that was self-sustaining, it's allowed me to put my own cars in the garage. And honestly, if those cars are in the garage and it's, and I'm blowing gigantic amounts of natural gas in there to heat them, then I have to be out there every day. Like, as soon as we're done here, I'm going back outside to keep at the cars because it just drives me nuts that, like, where we are, I mean, I got 3 furnaces roaring full time, And if I'm not out in that garage, all I can just see is that meter just spinning around. Like, oh, your cars aren't getting worked on, but the furnace is just blowing that nice hot air on this empty garage, and that just makes me nuts. So yeah, I find, and I used to really take winter badly. I hate, it's dark here in where we are in Canada. Like it's only light for about 6 hours, and if I sleep till noon, it's only light for about 3 or 4. And so it's dark all the time and it's cold and whatever. But I realize that I don't care because all I like doing is being in the garage. So if it's warm in the garage and the lights are on, it might as well be summer. I actually like it better in the winter because I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Sometimes in the summer, I'm in the garage and I'm working on my cars. And my brother's like, hey, we're all riding motorcycles and we should go. And I'm just like, oh, I got to put primer on, whatever. And I feel kind of like I'm missing out because, there is actually things that are worth doing outside of the garage in life, some things. And so, but in the winter, there's none of that. It's like, hey, we're shoveling snow and hating everything. Oh, I guess I'll stay in the garage and work on my car. And that's, so in some ways, winter it's even better because there's nothing else to do. I can't drive any of the cars. I can't ride my bike. It's too cold to really even do anything at all. Not most of the time. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it's not too cold, but I hope to go snowmobiling next week, but I'm good for a few hours a year. Some guys go every weekend. They got to go do jumps and awesome. I love it. But I'm good. One weekend a year. I'm like, okay, we got the sleds out. Put them back. Hope that we'll bring some fresh gas next year. They're good enough. Richard Julian, are you still in touch with Matt? I'm assuming you mean Matt Hott. Yeah, sure. I just saw Matt last week at their Christmas party at Strong's Garage. Yeah, Matt's doing very well. He's very, very busy, of course. And now, because he's been out or off of active duty for a while, they're going to be double busy while he gets caught up. So it's going to be a very busy time for them, but I think there will be another successful year at the garage there. Steve Areno says, thanks for another year. Good business. That being good friend business. Oh, thanks for the gift I received after I ordered my 2026 calendar. Oh, thank you very much, buddy. Cheers. Jerry Uptimore is out of here. Cheers, Jerry. Thank you so much, buddy. And Ham Jammy says, I forgot to mention I'm a big Dodge Brothers fan. I restored my 1922 touring car. Hoping to see more of your DB in 2026. Absolutely. It's kind of I'm not going to say priority. Well, it'll be the thing that, okay, we've talked about how much I like winter, but the nice thing about summer is that I can have projects outside. Like all summer last year, we had the Chev outside. We did all the splicing and everything outside. There's stuff that I like doing outside, and anything like the Dodge, that's got to be up on the lift a lot. And it's always like it's fiddle a little thing, go for a drive, adjust something, go for a drive. And that is impossible in the winter. So yeah, we won't see anything of the Dodge until next spring. But then I'm really hoping to I really got to figure out why it doesn't run properly. So if you're driving by and you have like lots of Dodge Brothers chops, let us know. I've got it's just I think I'm close. The distributor rotor, sorry, I forget where the camera is. There's a distributor rotor in there and it's got a little carbon thing on top, and it's supposed to, anyway, you know how it goes. But the carbon on top thing was broken off or broken half off. So I'm wondering if I was getting bad spark because the car would just shake way more than it should at speeds that it should attain with no trouble at all. So that's kind of where I left it. I ran out of time, but I did buy a bunch of ignition stuff for the car, and we're going to go through it in the spring. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's an old car. It's not rebuilt. From what I could tell, I plastic gauged it. There's nothing really drastically wrong with it. I'd like to get it just drivable. I've never even washed it. I don't even know if I will. I just want it to be something that can be driven, that's not precious, and it's really a fun old thing. It's huge inside. Frankers actually likes it. She doesn't like the Model T. It's too loud and smelly and slow and whatever. Frankers actually likes the Dodge, so that would be the one that we would take to go get groceries or whatever. So I will try to catch up a little bit here again, guys. Sorry. Merry Christmas to Philip Picard. Thank you so much. And what would be your Christmas wish for a tool out of your price range? Oh, geez. Well, a little out of my price. One day I want a Pull Max. One of those little. They got little jaws that go like this, and you can put dies in, and you can burn, and you can make. You can make pieces. You can make stuff, and that's kind of the next step. One day I would like a Pull Max. It's not as powerful as a what do you call it, a power hammer is kind of the ultimate metal bashing tool, but that's just a little outside of what I need. I'm not building complete bodies. It is a beautifully productive tool once you're good at it, but I'm probably 30 years old too old to start my apprenticeship on a power hammer. It's not maybe one day we'll see. But the thing is, for the way I'm doing my cars and the types of cars I'm doing, like I'm not going to buy a 59 Buick and then make the whole roof skin for it. It's just not realistic. So and that's what power hammers are good at, is we're making, great big panels and stuff, and it's fast, and but I don't, I'd like to have one, but I don't think I need one for the level of work that I'm doing, which is I'm mostly making pieces and bits that are less than 2 feet by 2 feet, and I'm kind of using them to repair existing cars. If I decide to do a completely scratch built car, that'll be a different story. But a Pull Max is a nice thing. I mean, you can get it, and you can, it would just make nicer stuff in less time. But if it doesn't come along, that's also fine too. Let's see. Trunk floor fabrication for the Impala was on. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's almost, well, we got one more piece to go. Gary was coming over on Thursdays, but tomorrow is Thursday, and I don't think anybody's going to get out of Christmas dinner to come over and smash on rusty Impala parts. So we'll have to, the next piece of the Impala trunk puzzle will be in the next week or two. I did, and it'll be coming up on the weekend probably. I did fit the 2 pieces that we already made. I thought, well, let's make sure these are actually going to work before we go build the hardest one. And I don't want to give it away or anything. But oops, where's the camera? There we go. Yeah, so far so good. So we'll have some detail on how that went coming up. And let's see. Any upcoming segment video of the agents in 3-wheeler in the snow? Oh, my 3-wheeler went to Dan. Actually, he had so much more use for it than me, and I just felt it was kind of not getting used sitting around here, so I just gave it to him. And he tows he's got a brush mower that he tows with it, so that he keeps his trails clean, so that we can come over to his house and ride snowmobiles. So that was a small price to pay for me to get Dan's trails groomed so that we can ride our snowmobiles on them. Actually, the snowmobiles went to Dan's too. It's like, why are these here? This yard is so much better. Here, just take all this stuff. There you go. So we will probably do a little video of us screwing around in the snow, but I don't know. I don't know how much of that we'll film. I've done a couple of times, it's, I don't know, it's a ton of work to make those little snowmobile specials but it's kind of a shame, because there's stuff I would like to do for YouTube that I would think would make the show better. But when I watch, and we talked about the little thing where you can look at all the little graphs that have anything to do with your channel, and it seems like there's people are watching, and then it goes like this, and then it goes back up again, and that there is where they're skipping over the part that I spent the most time on. So I'm just like, okay, I guess I'm wasting my time. It's too bad, because I like doing the musical bits, and I like doing all of the editing and trying to make something nice, but zip over to where we're pounding on dents. So I'll just, okay, well, that's good. More cars get done that way, I guess. So that's kind of, now it doesn't mean I'm not going to do any of that, but it does kind of discourage a guy when you do put these nice little montage things together, and people just skip over them. And I'm like, well, I spent 14 hours on that. But now, there's people that skip over everything, but there's people. But if there's people that like it, like not everybody likes classic darts, obviously, but the people that do like it really like it. So that's kind of, that's why I'll keep doing it. And who really likes it? Yeah, I really like doing that. So Brian, the bike guy, says, since you introduced us to the SM and DS Citroens, I've watched many videos on them. Yes, they are very special machines. I have one more DS I'd like to do, and I've got the SM, and that'll probably have to be it. Oh, I've got the Traction Avant too. I want to get that going. That's going to be kind of a beater. I think we talked about that once before, the plans for the Traction Avant. I can't restore that car. It's close enough, and it's one of those cars where it's $100 to get it on the road and $1,000 to restore it, and only 10% of people would even be able to tell the difference. So I think we're just going to put that together like the Fraser, make a agents going to the store kind of car out of it. Super fun. So that's the plan on the Traction Avant. Steve Reno says, waiting for a Lada to show up in your yard. I had a Lada, and years ago, I had a Samara. I'd like to have one of the boxy Fiat ones. They did sell very well here in Canada. Actually, my friend Richard, the French car guru with the black DS that I always call when I can't figure out my Citroen, he was the Lada dealer in Edmonton. He owned a place called Pioneer, and they sold Ladas right off of the boat. And he said they sold very well for several years. But when the Hyundai Pony was introduced, which was 1983 or 4, that was like finished just a little less crude than the old Ladas, and not much more money, and had a little more dealer support and little less communist stigma. And so once the Hyundai Pony was released, the Ladas, the old, what are they called, 1600s, or, the old Fiat 124 or whatever they are, Ladas, which are cool. Our neighbor had one, and they were good cars. I wish I had one today. I actually tried. I asked Richard if he had any kind of sitting around in the back, and he said he didn't anymore. But I would love to have. I sold the Samara because it just wasn't bad enough. I drove it, and I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's just a little car. It's not really like, I was hoping it was like terrible. I was hoping it was like so bad that it was funny, but it was just like, meh. It's okay. It's not even a bad car, but it lacked the comedy value. Like the Lecar, the Renault 5s, those things make me laugh the whole time I'm driving. You're just like, woo! Like, those cars are fun. If anybody doesn't understand why I have Renault 5s, it's because they've never driven one. They're goofy, they're bad, they're everything a Lada is. Like, they're badly put together and cheap materials and whatever, but they're fun. They're fun to drive, and they are, they have personality. And by personality, I mean dangerous lean angles. They are really fun. And so the Renault 5 is almost the closest thing I have to like a crazy communist car. It's more of a crazy socialist car, I guess, which is, splitting hairs perhaps. But R5s are awesome, and with the R5, it's kind of filled my crappy little beater niche. Like sometimes you just want a little crappy little meh kind of car, and that there's no better than the R5. Like, you can just ring that thing out, and it just loves it. So so it's kind of, if a Lada comes along, like, I keep one eye open for everything. I'd like a Datsun F10 as well. I had one years and years ago, and I'd like to have one again, the wagon or the hatch, but they were not common when they were new, and they're just extinct now. Like, and if you do find one, now all that stuff is not just old junk. It's actually kind of a collector's item now. So, so that's why I haven't actively pursued the Lada thing right away. Happy John asks, we think you'll finish the Speedster you were building? Yes, I think, again, I really want to, and I'm talking to the fellows about it, but it's a matter of doing it. I really was trying to get it done this winter. We'll see. If we're going to start on it, it would have to be February, March, maybe see what the guys. It's a question of whether the guys are into it or want to help or have the time, because a lot of it is stuff that that needs doing, that just it doesn't make great video. This is part of the problem. Like, nobody is going to watch me build a wiring harness for a homemade car, and maybe I wouldn't watch that either, right? What makes the show, I think, worth watching is whatever you're doing with your friends. So we'll have to see. Certainly, if the cars themselves were the only consideration, then no, it'll never get done, because the Impala and the Buick, they have a little more cultural gravity. That's the most pompous thing I've said today. They have a little, they're more relatable. Stuff that's relatable, people will watch. And I've noticed that, because I thought, I get an SM, everybody's going to love to watch that, but it's not relatable. Very few people went to swimming lessons in an SM. Very few people went got dropped off at school in a homemade roadster car. So it doesn't resonate with the people that you're trying to connect with, and that's okay. But does it mean that I shouldn't finish the car, or does it mean that it has to get pushed outside and wait for me to not be doing YouTube anymore? I don't know what the answer is there. So, or I just have to bite the bullet and finish it and say, but again, as long as we're trying to keep the show going, then I kind of have to. And it's not like I don't like the cars that I am working on. It's not like I didn't always want a 60 Impala and a 59 Buick. Those are cars near the top of my list since I was 5 years old. So it's easy for me to put the Roadster aside because it doesn't really resonate on YouTube. It's easy for me to put it aside because the two cars that I'm working on beside it really do, and I love them as well. So don't get the idea that I'm complaining, oh, poor me, got to build my awesome 60 Impala lowrider that I've always wanted. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that if we're looking for reasons why the Roadster keeps getting put to the back of the line, or the SM, those are legitimately the reasons. If everything got the same number of views on YouTube, I would have finished them already. But I have to, at some level, even though I really try not to let YouTube influence what I'm doing, at some point, it's not telling me what I'm doing, but it's telling me what I'm filming. And is that the same thing? It does overlap a lot. So there we go. And the thing is, it's not like it's a weekend. Oh, if it was only a weekend to finish that, it'd have been finished. But it's more like a month, and that's a month of every day, and that's okay. But would there still be a YouTube channel to come back to if I just took a month and said, I'm not doing nothing? Okay, I'll see you guys in a month. I want to get this car done. I'm not even going to film it. I don't know. That's a big risk. It's a big risk, especially when YouTube already hates this channel to the point where they unsubscribe literally 100 people a week. So, well, I've got you here. Please double check if you're subscribed. Like, I got an extra 20 subscribers last week because Kyle Carter was so kind to mention the channel. And then literally Sunday and Monday, YouTube unsubscribed 20 people from this channel. And I'm not even making this up. I've got no reason to make this stuff up. This is just, for whatever reason, I have pissed them off. Good. I mean, I don't care. YouTube sucks now. I mean, you guys don't suck. But YouTube used to literally be whatever you want. Put whatever you want on. Here's a platform where you can say and do what you want. And now it's not that anymore. It hasn't been for years. It's not like I just figured this out. But it sure isn't what it was 15 years ago, when what I'm doing here would have been considered a pretty polished production back in the day. And now YouTube is mostly shot by film crews with guys in sets with good lighting and all this, and everybody has microphones on, and that's just not really something that we can just shove onto this show. Like, oh, my friends come over, first thing I do is run out and put microphones on everybody, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So we just have to live with the shitty audio. We just have to live with the fact that it's a little chaotic, and it's either that or I can't do it, because as soon as I have to be like, okay, you guys all got to be here at 8:30 because we're going to film this and we're going to stand here. A, nobody would show up because that's not fun. And B, just nobody would show up. It's not going to happen. So again, we're just still just trying to do whatever we can to keep it going. I mean, I'm sure there's lots I could do. I could get a Facebook page, and I could make shorts, and I could do all the things that, and I'm just like, yeah, but whatever. Like, I don't, again, all that comes with it starting to take up all the time that it would take to do that comes out of the cars. So now there's less work and more filming. And now, so that means now you're filming, instead of taking 50 hours of work and consolidating it to a 1 hour video, you're taking 10 hours of work and consolidating it. Well, that means that it's going to be there's going to be a lot less actually happening in every video if you start putting out way more videos. So I tried to find a happy medium. I thought maybe put out 2 videos a week. Maybe that'll make a big difference. And somehow, after 5 years of doing that, the Thursday videos don't get any views. I don't get it. So it's not. I thought maybe the Saturday videos are too long. Let's put out shorter video on Thursday. Maybe it'll get twice the views. No, it gets half the views. I think a lot of people don't even know I put out a video on Thursday. That's how buried this channel is. So anyway, YouTube can suck it. Can I say that on YouTube? I don't even care. Merry Christmas. Oh, man. Oh, there's Tom. Cheers, Tom Witherspoon, or W Spoon now, I guess. Jetlaw asked, do you also have a Packard flathead for an antique wooden boat? Yes. Yes. Well, maybe. I don't know. I do have an extra Packard flathead, but I don't have a boat yet. I don't live where boats are really a sensible thing. So what I do have is a 41 Plymouth with a fairly anemic engine in it. And I'm thinking, wouldn't that be fun with a Packard 8 engine in it? You'd have to dish the firewall out a bit, but make it kind of like a moonshiner kind of car. I think that might be fun. The 41 Plymouth four-door sedan has no real value anyway, so it's not like I'd be ruining some precious thing. The Packard engine, I mean, it'll fit. It'll go in there. Might have to do a few little tweaks in here and there, but anyway, that's something I'm thinking about with the extra Packard engine. The one in the Packard race car that Dean drives, that engine's not bad. That engine could be saved. I think the rings are stuck. But if that engine was torn down, I'm sure it's 90% of it, 99% of it could be reused. So, yeah, that would be a good engine. That car is garbage. Like, let's not kid anybody. Anybody who thinks I'm ever going to restore that Packard is wrong. John Burst says Agent 2112 has been a great addition to the cast. Well, I agree 100%. He has been nothing but enthusiastic and funny and helpful, and he's got a pretty sweet Barracuda that we will be starting on in possibly the next week or two. So yes, very happy that Gary has been able to spend some time with us, and he's really not even mentioning the work he's done on the house and the barn around here, but just as a guy to hang out with, a guy who fits the aesthetic and the mindset around here, and a guy who sometimes likes to relax. Just a terrific fellow all the way around. Mark asks, how did I acquire the Farmall W6? I got that, funny enough, if you go back a couple of years to where I bought the 1940 Dodge, fellow just rolled in my yard. I think he must have seen some cars or whatever, or he got told by somebody, there's a guy on the corner who buys old cars. So anyway, he pulled in my yard, and he's like, do you want a 48 Dodge? And I could see it in his trailer, had the sides on it. And I was like, nah, not really. And I looked at it, and I saw it was 1940, and he said he was going to the scrapper with it. So I was like, okay, well, push it off. I'm not letting that go to the scrappy. And so I paid him for that, not much. And then he said, do you want a 54 Pontiac as well? And I was like, same deal? And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll drop it off. Same money, whatever, just my grandpa's old, whatever, blah, blah. So, okay, so we dropped that off. And then I'm like, how many more cars you got? And he's like, oh, I don't have any more cars. That was it. He's like, unless you want a tractor. And I said, well, as a matter of fact, I do. So he's like, okay, well, come on, he gave me his address. And so I went with my friend Doug Julian, who's a tractor expert. Doug, we showed his Model A, I think this spring. He's restoring a Model A sedan, a wooden body one, doing a beautiful job. Doug I've known for 30 years, at least 40 years. I don't know, longer than I think, I guess. And so Doug went with me because he's a real tractor guy and a real mechanic, proper mechanic, not like me. And so we went and he looked, and he had a John Deere Model A, and he had a Cockshot 40, Cockshot 30 or 40, and he had another fairly rare unit. They had all kind of been painted and fixed up, and they were cool. But I was like, well, that's not really what I'm after. And then he had just arrived back with the W6 on the trailer. It was still on the trailer, and he's like, I just pulled this out of my dad's farm or field or whatever, wherever it had been for many, many, many years. And I walked around for about 15 seconds, and I was like, I'll take it. And he actually dropped it off for me because of why push it off one trailer onto another. So that worked out really well. I paid basically scrap plus a bit for it, and had it running in about 15 minutes. I just love that thing. So there's that's how I came to own that. I think there's a video of me getting it. It'll be a video after the 54 Pontiac video anyway. Porsche Racer says, to be fair, I was under 40 when I first started watching your channel, but time marches on. Scott Govey says, ever thought about body swapping one of those French cars? I've got enough French car problems without trying to re-engineer them. Yeah, that would be, that would be funny. Sorry, I guess we're user asks, user W6RP4. Anyway, you get the idea. Does Alberta use salt on the roads? Yes. They use calcium now as well. Yes, the cars here don't get it like New York, for sure. Even Eastern Canada is the same thing. If you get down around Toronto, everything is just garbage, just crunchy garbage. Here, yeah, they're still garbage, but they're kind of, what we have here is low ambient humidity. So like the cars do rust, but only the bottom of them rusts out. Like if you go up around the roof and everything, all the seams are still tight. The cars are actually savable. It doesn't mean they don't rust, but they don't rust into just crunchy balls of shit like they do in the East. So the cars here are restorable. If you go directly south of here, if you get down towards the American border, they're even better. And then you cross the border, Montana, Idaho. Those are really about as good as it gets in this part of the world. Yeah, Montana, Idaho, those cars are Nevada. Those cars are dry and usually less salt. My 59 Plymouth that I have, the yellow one, that's from, I believe that's Montana car. And that car is amazing. And now it's a special garage kept, fairly low mileage car. But even so, like it did get driven for a dozen years before it was parked. And usually by the early 70s, most of those late 50s forward look cars were just crumbling garbage. And that thing still looked new when it was put away in the early 70s. So there's yeah, I would say Alberta is pretty good. Alberta, Saskatchewan, there's the other thing that's happened here that hasn't happened here that's happened everywhere else. The scrap merchants haven't absolutely decimated every barnyard and it's been bad, but there's still relatively sound, untouched cars for sale. Like some of the stuff I have on the lot here, they would be considered exceptionally original and nice cars in other parts of the world. Like around here, I'm picking those up for scrap plus, which is what I consider like, I want to pay, I'll pay more than you'll get for scrap, but I'm not buying this for its value as a car. I'm just buying this because I don't want to see it get crushed, and I will pay a premium to put it back in my yard. But those cars, most of the cars on my lot could be saved, even though some of them are quite rusty, but they're not like when the windshield falls out kind of rusty. You know what I mean? Like, and that's a big difference. I would say that these cars around here tend to be restorable if you're ambitious enough. At least it can be done. I've seen cars, East Coast cars, where people are trying to restore. It's like there's nothing to even weld to. Like you can't weld rocker panels to a car that has no posts or floors or frame or whatever. And whereas around here, they need rockers, but there's something to weld the rockers onto sometimes. Uh, Cars like my Impala, I mean, you can see how bad that was. There's nobody home there. But that car sat outside since 1970, just sitting out in the trees. So that car had no chance. Other cars, like the car I spliced it onto, that Biscayne was very, I think, typical of cars that are kind of untouched. You could see that it was a little rusty, trunk floor gone, but there was enough there. There was structure there. You had rockers and you had the wheel tubs, which are very structural. There was stuff there that you could fill in the blanks. But I've seen cars in the East, and there's just nothing. There's just nothing to even weld to. And so I guess I would say, but a lot of the cars I buy have been off the road since just shortly after I was born. So especially in the rural areas, that's where you'll find the decent cars. I'd rather buy a car that's been sitting in a farmer's field out in the country since 1975 than one that was being driven in the last 10 years. Because when they went with this calcium or whatever they're using now, like cars just dissolve from this stuff. New ones, old ones, it doesn't matter. I mean, we joke about the winter beater showdown and stuff, and making the Fraser was going to be my winter beater. That's why I started. I thought this will be hilarious, big old sedan for winter. But I got it done, and I realized that it was pretty solid, but it was thin, and the car's been around. And I thought, if I start driving this on these roads, in 2 years it'll be completely destroyed, and now you've ruined a car that somehow made it the first 70 years until you got a hold of it, and then you drove it in the salt. So same with my Renault. I built the Renault 5 as my winter beater kind of challenge car. I got that all done, and I'm like, well, these cars dissolve in minutes if you put them in the salt. So I got it all done, and I drove it a few times, only when it was fresh snow before they salted the roads. And I'm like, oh, here comes the salt trucks, and I put it away. And now my lovely old Volvo S90. Yeah, I mean, I was driving it until they put the salt on the roads, and now I'm just like, I'm not wrecking this car. It's so nice. So I'll be driving my Dodge truck, which is dissolving away, and the minivan that we have, which is just an absolute hammer. But I can see within the next year or two, I'm going to be welding dog legs and fenders onto that thing. The salt is relentless, or whatever they call it, the calcium. I think it's even worse than salt. So Rust Jockey imploring me to fix the Simca up. Saw one at a car show. Not one since. You gotta bitch it together. Yeah, as I say, I don't think I could restore it, but and I'll get some measuring tape out, and if it's not hit too badly and can be stretched back into shape, I would cobble it together just as a novelty. And then I mean, I don't think mechanically it's too hard to get that thing going, but body, right? And so you get in there and you're like, okay, there's nothing to weld to, well, then forget it. But if it could be cobbled up like my R5, the gold one, that thing's just a hammer, and I just patch that together real quick and it still looks fine. So yeah, no, I appreciate the vote for the Simca. That's awesome. Sorry guys, got a Lieutenant Jerry Riggs says the Roman Arches Bondo door repair was peak YouTube at the time. Well, thank you. I thought it would be really a good video, and I thought it would do really well. And then it just, nobody got it. All I got was hundreds of comments like, that's not the right way to do it. I kind of thought I was like, I'm so tired of watching shitty bodywork videos on YouTube. Like how to fix rust for no money, and then we get 7 million views. So I was like, to hell with it. I'll make the worst bodywork video of all time. And so I made the Bondo Roman Arches truck door repair video, which I thought was like, this is the worst bodywork video of all time. And nobody got it. And everybody was like, that's not right to do. And so I was like, out of hell with it. You know, if that has to be explained, if that video had to be explained that it was a joke, then I give up. And then I was just like, okay, to hell with it. I won't do anything funny anymore. It's whatever. Jeffrey Jancherek asked if I would ever consider working on a Facel Vega. The only way I'm going to work on a Facel Vega is if it's mine. And that is one of my favorite cars. I would love a Facel Vega. If we're talking about lifetime, like bucket list, do whatever you have to, would be a Facel Vega. I don't think it's ever going to happen because rough ones are pushing $100,000. So I don't see it. The only way I could see myself getting into a Facel Vega would be if I traded my SM after it's done, and a mint SM would get you a project Facel. But then I'd have to say, but the SM is one of my favorite cars of all time and probably drives better than the Facel. Like Facels are nice, but the SM is like it's another level of spaceship car. So I don't know if I want to trade one of my favorite cars for one of my other favorite cars, like especially when the one is done. So anyway, Facel Vega, if anybody has a cheap one that they want to get rid of, let me know, because I would buy one. But I'm not working. No, I don't want to work on any cars for anybody else except for Ashley and my brother and the boys, and that's it. As for customer cars, no, never. Old Junk and a Dog says, Merry Christmas. Have you ever heard of Poverty Tour? Malays or land yachts out Route 66. Oh, that sounds fun. I don't generally leave the yard, but that does sound like a good time. Sounds also like just whenever Dean comes over. And Billy Hort says, Merry Christmas. Well, thank you so much. Brian McCulley says, Bun has added a wonderful dimension to your channel. My favorite show with her is the transmission rebuild. Yes, thank you. I think so too. She is very camera shy and does not appreciate me sticking the camera in her face, so I kind of try not to. But yes, we will probably be getting her another transmission to do here fairly soon. And yes, she's just a delight, and she's very kind to put up with me and my bullshit. And genuinely really into it. So let's see if we can get her. I think we might be doing a transmission for Miles. We'll see. But we've had a few total home runs. Actually, the Dynaflow is just beautiful, and Dean's transmission turned out perfect. I'm very proud of that. And very good. Oh, there's Tom W. Spoon, $20. Thank you so much, buddy. My favorite moment in 2025 was your transformation to Volvo Man. Well, thanks very much. That was a really fun one, and I'm glad it turned out and got a few laughs. Like I say, nothing we ever do is ever going to get any amount of views, but that one was kind of fun, and I thought it's not really a car that's going to get too many people super excited. It is just an old Volvo sedan. So I thought, well, we'll make the video. The hook won't be the car. It'll be me actually cleaning up a bit. So let's see where. Oh, sorry. Let me just see where the heck are we? Oh my God, you guys! Really, am I that far behind? I apologize again. Answering questions from like half an hour ago here. Beaten Rust Bucket says you can see what we're skipping over. Oh yes. What else can you see that we were doing? That's about it, really. You can see there's a little graph, and it doesn't say who skipped over, but it just shows you, like, it goes along, and it's like, oh, there's a part there, and then it goes up here. Oh, people watch that multiple times, and, oh, here's where I fell on my ass, and there's a little bump there, and oh, here's where I was doing whatever, oh, people, okay, here's where I was sewing. Well, okay, people skip past that because and that's fine, and you'll see that if that goes to be the case, then like mostly now I don't even bother filming the sewing, because if people are going to skip past it, I get it done a lot faster if I don't film it. And it's kind of too bad because I like the variety, but I'm also I'm still trying to get a certain amount of things done, and so I have to balance that again. And Papa Bob 29. Oh, thanks very much. Another very generous patron of the show and contributor, and also a very, very fine car builder in his own right. Papa Bob, thank you so much for stopping in, buddy. Sorry, I know you probably. Are we really that far behind? I'm so sorry, guys. Opar Ed said the calendar is fantastic. Thank you, Ed. That's great. Vanessa said, I noticed in the videos sometimes video gets choppy or psych. Yes, I noticed that too. I apologize. That is not anything I'm doing deliberately. That is the funny thing is I bought a brand new computer with way more power so I could make the videos better, and I make them all in 1080 now. That never happened before when I made the videos in 720. It's a compression thing. It's something to do, and when I say compress, I mean it's a zip file. I don't know. I don't know nothing about computers, but I know that happens, and it pisses me off because I don't ever notice it. It's not on the master copy, so I apologize. It's usually only a few seconds here or there. It still pisses me off because that's why you buy and upgrade. It's why I've been doing this year. I've been trying to upgrade the internet so I can upload faster, the computer so I can edit faster, the software, the blah, blah, blah. And now we can upload in 1080. And now I have this other completely unrelated problem that I don't understand at all. And there it is. So I don't know. I'll keep looking into it, but I just haven't had time to figure out even what the hell it's doing. And by the time I get the videos done and it's time to save them and upload them, it's usually 8 a.m. the next day. And I'm just like, I don't even know. I just have to go to bed. So I'll keep looking into it. I do genuinely try every week to get a few more things fixed, but sometimes it just can't be. I don't even know. Like I say, that all that weird compression shit is not on the master copy. So I don't know what's happening. It's just something to do with computers, which I don't understand at all. Will you do a short review of your S90? Oh, I did. It was called the Volvo Effect. I hope you enjoyed it. Well, I did kind of review the rebuilding of the car. Anybody doesn't know, that was a totaled car accident, car salvage, and it took many years to rebuild it, but not really. I mean, it took a few weeks, but spaced out over many years. Yeah. Shockwave says, get a GoFundMe set up for your Facel Nightmare Project Fund. Yeah. That's funny, but I would never do that. No. I just can't. I think, it's very kind that we have the support that we do, but I would never ask people to buy me cars. That's just not how I want to do it. So let's see. Do you get a notification if YouTube unsubscribes someone, or you just see the numbers? I just see the chart. I just see the subscribers chart as it goes along, and then it goes up, and then it's like, oh, too many people subscribed, bloop, and then it'll unsubscribe a bunch of people. I try not to even look at it too much because it just pisses me off. And I mean, I used to, when I started doing YouTube, I would get 400 subscribers a month or whatever, and maybe one person would unsubscribe because they didn't like the swearing, and that's fine. I don't care. But now I would get 1 or 2 a month unsubscribe, and now I get 100 a week, to the point where YouTube is unsubscribing people almost as fast as they're subscribing. And if anybody's been watching the show for a while, I mean, we had 70,000 subscribers 3 years ago, and now it's at 71. Like, people say, oh, you just got to get over that hump, and then no, it's never going to take off. This channel is buried. This channel's buried, and fuck them. I don't care. I'm not stopping. Let's see. I got unsubscribed. Well, thank you guys. Stronger every day says, the reason I like your channel is because it isn't like all the other channels. Well, thank you. I don't care why you like it, as long as you like it, as long as somebody likes it. We do have a lot of fun, and I do still enjoy doing it. And the reason I can still enjoy doing it is because I don't let myself get inside it too much, or you don't let it get in my head, because in the end I have to say to myself, and every now and then I just have to pull myself aside and say, look, just, are you working on your cars? Are you getting your cars done? Yeah. Are the lights still on? Shut up. Do you care about anything else? No. And honestly, if I had 4 million subscribers and made the same money and had the same cars, my life would be, it would be worse. It wouldn't be better, you know? Like, I don't ever want to have to be afraid to go places because people will know who recognize me or want to, you know what I mean? I don't want, I'm not in it for that. Nobody should be. Julian asks, are you going to put hydraulics on the Chevy to make it into a lowrider? No, I don't think so. I don't think that I'm going to go hydraulics. I thought about it because it's, you know, really the hardcore traditional lowrider should be on hydraulics. I get it. But with that comes a lot of prices that I don't really need to pay, which is hydraulics ride like shit. I mean, I get why they were, you know, and it's, you know, all that is fine, but really I just like the aesthetic of a low car. And I like the idea that you could lift the car up enough so that you could get it in out of your garage. Because I, you know, like I lowered my Fury 4 inches when I first built it, and I couldn't get it out of the yard. It looked cool as hell, but it was just dragging on everything. So I had to put 2 inches back in it. And so now it's still a little low, but it looked really cool. So I kind of want to be able to get it down. But hydraulics, I mean, you can make it rigid if you reinforce the frame. You can do all these all these lowrider things, but I'm not really into it for the culture. You know, like the culture is its own thing. I'm not. I'm just in it because I like the way the cars look on those wheels with the little tires and sitting real low. I just love that. I love the paint. I love the aesthetic, but I like the, you know, the older stuff. I mean, I think the lowriders now with the chandeliers and the Virgin Mary on the trunk lid and they've gotten a little cartoonish, you know, and I understand that every aesthetic has to, you know, has to evolve to stay fresh. But to me, if we back up to the 70s somewhere and we see the Impalas with the cool paint and the nice wheels, maybe a little, you know, something a little tacky and funny. Lowriders have also become essentially concourse restorations full of all the accessories, and some of these cars are restored like Pebble Beach tier paint and body, and absolutely staggering amount of work gone into them. But they're not, those are no more drivable, you know, like those are show cars, and that's fine. I mean, if you got engraved control arms, and I mean, that's cool, but that is not a car now as an art object, and that's fine. But so the short answer, I'm probably going to put it on air just because you can get it down low. It doesn't chip all the edges of all your panels every time you hit a bump. It's not as hardcore for sure, but I really just like the look. I just like the look and air. You still have a beautiful ride. You can look cool and you can still drive it. And if you need to get over a speed bump, it doesn't ruin the car, you know, dragging your pipes on the ground or whatever. So I think we'll just go with air. The air systems are universal for those cars. You can buy it. It's just like, oh, 60 Impala air ride, bloop, 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 push the button. There it is. So that's probably what we'll do. I got to get the welding done first. We're going to take the body off, slide the frame out, get the frame blasted. Then we'll do all the welding. Then we'll paint the frame. Then we'll slide it back in. There's a little bit of welding to get the air ride in, mostly just spring pockets and stuff. I don't know a ton about it, but I'm not worried. I mean, so many people have done that. There's no point in trying to figure out how to do air ride when you literally, people have been putting air ride Impalas together for 40 years. So you just pick up the phone, air ride Impala on the way, bloop, click, and do it. So it's another one of those things that I'm not even occupying a lot of brain space with, because right now it's just rusty garbage. Just fix the rusty garbage. Once you get the rusty garbage fixed, then it's okay. Well, now whatever. Now you can worry about the engine, the transmission, and we'll put all that together, and then we'll put the body back on it. Then we got to fit all the body. Then we'll start the painting, and the painting is what I'm really living for here. Like, the painting is going to be fun. It's going to be, let's get the fellas over and we'll get some tape and we'll have some laughs. But I want to do it in a, in a 70s kind of look and style. So yeah, I hope that answers the question. And somebody else asked if it's going to be blue. It is. It's going to be the original blue with a white top, but we're going to do the funny stuff on top of that. That way, if I ever change my mind or whatever, if I die and somebody doesn't want to have a metal flake Chachito lowrider, all you'd have to do is just paint the outside of the car back to blue. The fireball is going to be the original color. Jams will all be the original colors. So if somebody decides that, oh my God, you just ruined this classic Impala, they can paint it back to blue. I don't care. I never will, because I want to make one. I want to have. We had so much fun on the van, and that thing is just so sparkly and cool going down the road. I kind of want one of those for me because Ashley's having all the fun right now. And so that's kind of the plan with that. Yeah. And Billy Davis said Gary's top notch. Well, that's very kind of you. I agree 100%. So, Dewey Warner says a CWM puppet segment like the old shows might boost viewership. Well, it might. I don't know, is that the viewers we want? I'm only here for the puppets. Okay. Right? Well, most people are only here for the puppies. Let's see. Yes. Sorry, Joe Doucette has got to go. Cheers, Joe. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to spin down to the bottom here a bit. Just to get caught up because, oh my God, 3 hours. I'm wasting you guys' time, So let's, there we are. There we go. There we go. Angela Racino asks, oh, well, thank you so much, Angela. $20 for us. And she had asked if I was going to restore the Cummins Dodge truck, and the answer is not right away. Again, like I said, my plan was to put the Ford body on it and keep the awesome diesel drivetrain, because then it would kind of be a classic and something I could tow with. But in the meantime, those Dodge trucks have become kind of classics on their own, even though I don't regard it as one, and it's just a rotten old Dodge pickup as far as I'm concerned. So I don't know. I thought that it would make a really neat kind of project to put the old Ford truck body on it, but then there's the possibility that you're just taking something and, well, anyway, we'll just see. I'll tell you what, if I'm going to keep the truck, it'll eventually end up with the Ford on it. And if I needed to make a bunch of money, I would patch that thing up and put nice paint on it and sell it for as much as any one of my cars is worth. I think they're just so sought after. I watch Bring a Trailer, and anytime one of those Cummins, now it has to be good. Mine in the condition it's in. The thing is, in the condition it's in, it's irreplaceable because, I mean, trucks now are $100K, and that thing is more truck than anything you can buy today. Like, that is military grade hardware. Other than the bodies, they fall apart, but the driveline is just a tank. So I think I'm going to just end up keeping that as long as I'm alive, whether I make it into a Ford 250 or fix the Dodge body. We're so far away from that. I thought that would be a real, let's do this summer. That's not a small job. Plus, if I want to do it to be something I'm proud of, then that Ford truck has to also be restored before you put it on the frame. So lots of things to think about. Randall's still here. Jeez, I'm sorry, Randall. You should be, working on your stuff. And Sheldon says he's never been unsubscribed in 15 years. Oh, and Sheldon, you also asked earlier if I was going to restore the 72 Fury 2-door hardtop. Probably not. Maybe one day there will be another good one comes along, and there's my parts car. That car, it was bad when I bought it. Like, I bought that thing 20 years ago, and it had been in a bad accident already, and it was rusty, and it was hit, and all the corners were knocked off. Chrome's bad, interior's bad, floors leak. A good one of those cars is 10 grand, like a really, really nice one. So I'm kind of hoping one day. The other thing is that I have the wagon, which is the one I really want. So if I'm going to restore a 72 Fury, it's going to be the wagon. So uh, that's kind of my answer to that, I guess. Oh, Angela, again, thank you for the extra $1.99. Thank you so much, you guys. Um, you guys are excellent. Oh, Triple Threat 2405. Cool. Been subscribed since 2012. My cousin texted me and said I needed to check out this channel that visits junkyards. Oh, neat. Yes, we do visit junkyards still. Thank you so much, Bill. And Ed says some of the earliest episodes they were filmed on a trash can lid using carbon paper. Yes. Yes. Well, it's funny to think about that stuff because I used to, when I started, my camera would only hold about 5 minutes of footage at a time, and the batteries only lasted about 10. So I was always running into the house and running back out and unloading the camera. And now I literally, there's some weeks when I don't have to unload it at all. I can just film almost a whole week on the one little thing the size of a fingernail. It's crazy. So, and and the resolution went from 240 to whatever we are now. So anyhow, there's plenty of things have changed for sure. I have a graveyard of dead cameras lined up that one day I'll show you guys. It's pretty alarming. A lot of them gotten run over and whatever. Harry Blue Max asks, is Dan doing a Havana taxi? Well, kind of. He's going to do a diesel Biscayne. And he has been to Cuba many times, and he has very fond memories of driving around Cuba in these diesel-powered American cars. And he's a diesel fan, and he has a really cool engine, which is the 4BT. So he's got all the ducks to make that happen, and I think it'll be really cool. He's not ruining a nice car. That Biscayne, the driveline's long gone. It was a parts car. Somebody butchered it years ago and chopped the floor out of it. So Dan, if he decides to fix that car and put a diesel in it, that's his car to do whatever he wants with. But I know he does want to put a 4BT. I think the real Cuba guys are mostly using Russian or Chinese diesels, but he's got a Cummins, and it'll be a pretty cool car. So, and let's see. Hot Rod Plumber. Hey, Scott. Darren John's still here. Cheers, Darren. Team will get the Dodge 350 dually in 2026. So I'm sure he's happy to hear that. That'll be awesome. Oops, just can't talk about the experiences you had with the Honda wagons. Not sure I get it. Let's see. Pat McLean. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to see if I missed anything. There we go. And Mega Hello says, Merry Christmas. I've been a fan since you did the Will It Run on the Gold 58 Del Rey many years ago. Oh, sure. Yeah, the old Del Rey. I got that from my friend Don, who used to run the garage that Stephen worked at. Sadly, progress has come for that, and now that building is gone. Don's retired, and Stephen is working elsewhere. But Don had this 58 Del Rey in there one day that I forget how it ended up there, but he just wanted it out of there. So that's how I ended up with that. That car came from all of half a mile away from here. And yeah, it's funny that people ask me about that car fairly often. I sold it within a year or two of finishing it up. And when I say finish, I mean, we got it running. We made our little video, and then I parked it. Excuse me. That car was garbage, right? Like, it ran well. It would have been a good drive, but who buys a car because it's got a good 235 in it? Like, it wasn't even a good parts car because the bumpers were bent. The grill was like all the cast pieces were either blistered or broken. The grill was no good. The floors were gone. It wasn't even really a good donor car for anything. So I sold it to cheap. I think I sold it for $900 to somebody who took the engine out, and they said they were going to make a lowrider out of it, and they never did. They took the engine out, and then they sold the remains of it without the engine for more than I sold it for. Anyway, that's long gone. That car's been gone 10 years, I'm sure. Paul has a good question. Does Dean's car have heat this winter? I don't know. I haven't ridden in it. I don't even know what car he's got right now, actually. Don says, we got to go to bed so Santa Claus can come. Merry Christmas. Yes, you guys, I think I've taken up so much of your time already. Thank you all so much. It's been really fun. Yeah, I'll try and put the mail video up maybe the next day or two, or I might have to just put it up middle of next week, whatever. Like I say, it was going to be my Christmas video, but I was watching it and I'm like, there's a lot of swearing in this for Christmas time. And so I thought, well, we'll just put it aside and maybe we'll do a live stream. And so you guys, thank you for stopping in and making that really fun and easy. And we're going to, Ryder Bob says, do a Will It Run start on your Hudson. Well, that was like the first video I did a Will It Run video on that Hudson. It's probably one of the first videos on the channel. I would like to do a better version of that video. Actually, I like your idea. I would like to put that car on the road. That is a car that is sitting inside the barn for a good reason. I pulled it in there I pulled it in there right after I started doing YouTube 16 years ago, and it hasn't moved since. I bet you that car could almost go on the road with a little bit of cleaning up. So we'll see. We'll have to see. Ed asked if Dean's okay. Yep, Dean's okay. Well, he's probably got a cold right now because he works all the time and he's always outside and he doesn't wear a hat. He's like a kid. Won't wear his hat. Oh, I'm not cold. And then the next day I'm like, Dean, come over and work on cars. And he's like, oh, I'm sick. Oh, yeah, maybe you should wear your hat. But, whatever. So, yeah, Dean's good. He's good. And we'll be getting back together with Dean here, probably after Christmas. Usually goes away to BC to see his kid. But I think this year he's not. I think he's getting to stay home this year. So, what a terrific time and a great hanging out with everybody. I was not expecting this would go 3 hours and a bit, but it's a very, very kind of you. Thanks to everybody again who pitched into the old garbage cars fund. I will honor all of your contributions by buying car parts. I will not buy any clothes. I will not buy. I won't buy any nice furniture. What do you want, Fraggers? Oh, Fraggers is asleep. We can't pester her. I was going to get her to come up and say goodbye. There you are. No, it's mean to wake up a sleepy dog. So thank you guys all so much. Have a terrific time. And we will see if we can get together very soon. I will leave it at that, I suppose. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you guys, everybody who makes it possible to keep doing this. The show is for you guys. Cheers.